Setting up. Whew. Yes, sir. What's good, people? As promised, May 8th, we would decide everything. Had to get my little swig of water, get myself right. You know what I mean?
Take my little swig. It's not water, though.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to get turn this sound off real quick. Boom. So since it's the Rap Snob, you know,
yes.
Just us two for now. Deanie and Mace are gonna be in the building a little bit later. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm surprised that this day even has come to be.
Hey, man.
The fade was ducked multiple times.
I was not holding my breath, but it has come to be. Mike D is gonna be on this show. Mike
D from According to Hip Hop. Yo, this is gonna be real interesting. I hope he did his homework. You know, they had apparently they had a pregame on their platform today. Shout out to them. I wonder if Cooper's pulling up. You know what I mean? Cooper, I know you watching. Just hit me up if you want to join the conversation. Because the first thing they're gonna say is, "Oh, they jumped Mike D." You know what I mean? We the visiting team in this situation. Even though it's on our channel.
Word. Mike, if you need to tag out, man, you know what I mean? Just, hit Coop. He's invited too.
He said, if you need to tag out, I'm dead. Chat, what's good with y'all? We just let some people file in before we officially begin the festivities. You know what I'm saying?
As always.
Let me check our numbers. I'm gonna send the links out and shit. Oh, officially 6,000 subs sent. You know what I mean? There you go.
Ding, 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 ding.
Much as y'all try to fight against it. We are cooking still. You can't get rid of us. We are the fly in your ear that you can't swat. You know what I mean?
10,000, here we come.
That's a fact, bro. All right, so we good on that. Let me get the links in order. Let me get all the business and the affairs in order. Library, Mike D. All right. 34 people watching. Make sure y'all file in, y'all. You know what I mean? Let's go. All right. I'm about to say, let's go According to Hip Hop. Let's go Roundtable. You know what I mean? This is going to be an interesting situation. It's like, you know what I mean? We in the backyard slap boxer. You know what I mean? All right. So we good money. Yes, yo, say real quick.
What up?
In the meantime, in between time.
Yeah.
There was a post in our Facebook group that stated that King's Disease 3 was the highest rated album of the entire rap album, like statistically the highest rated album of 2022, and is already on the way to be an album of the decade. Do you think that's a reach to say that it's already on its way to be an album of the decade?
I don't. A reach is a strong word. I feel like.
Okay.
But also album of the day. I mean, it's somewhere in there. First of all, it's the decade. It's early, man. Like that's all the way till 2030. That's like
that's what they said, bro.
Away, bro. Who knows what'll happen between now and then? But I mean, hey, it's a strong contender. I'll tell you that much. I mean, there's still another 6 years to go in this decade, but King's Disease 3 is heavy out here. I don't know if that's factual that it's the highest rated album. In terms of like the
rap album, highest rated rap album.
Rap album, I know, but we only talk about rap here. Right. But it's up there. I know it's up there, and it's in the conversation, man. It's in the conversation for sure.
You know what I mean? What do you think?
I'm not mad at that at all.
Is there anything from last year you feel like that could even be in that conversation?
I mean, the immediate thing that that popped up in my head was the Kendrick album.
Okay. Oh,
I think,
of course.
I mean, but not specific, not personally for me. I mean, still personally for me, but the thought was first. I know that Kendrick's album was pretty highly rated as well, even though some of our listeners wasn't fucking with it. A lot of Twitter wasn't fucking with it. It kind of divided up the hip hop audience, but the critical acclaim from the critics in certain publications, it was there. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing that popped in my head. It was like, was King's Disease the most critically acclaimed? Because I'm pretty sure Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers Y'all almost caught me again. This is around in the Big Steppers.
The mid-steppers?
Big, B-I-G. It was pretty heavily acclaimed last year also. So
all right. I feel like Freddie Gibbs is up there as well. We're gonna talk about Freddie later, but I felt like Sold Separately was kind of fire.
Freddie. As a person in terms of personal choices, yeah, Freddie's is up there too. I don't know if it got the same acclaim out there as as Nas and Kendrick did, but from publications and shit. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, last year was a great year. It was a really good year.
Last year was so good that we out here tapping our veins like we're inside. You know what I mean?
That like it feels like a desert right now, bro. Like we ain't had no water in months. Fuck.
He said we ain't had no water in months.
Shit,
that's
man.
a fact. I'm getting all the links out. I've done my part. We about to get to this. We're gonna get Mike D on here in a second. Because he's ready to go. He just called my phone like, yo, where these dudes at? You know what I mean? So Mike D is ready to cook. So I'm about to send him that link in a second. I just want to make sure that I connected with all the socials before we got to talking. Because once I get to talking, that's it. I don't got no time for nothing else. You know what I mean?
Once the switch is flipped, that's
a fact. And be mindful later in this live, y'all. You know what we do with these lives. If y'all want to join us, y'all know how to make that happen. Macito in the building.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Also, when we talk about socials, come follow me on Twitter. Yo, who would have thought that my little Nas series, my Twitter followers have grown exponentially?
Yeah, thanks. Get us to 1,000 while you're at it. Send the fuck.
I'll say. I mean, I'm gonna send them your way.
All this good ass Nas content on your channel. Can we get a band?
I mean, I would have done it on our profile, but I know how you be. So.
Oh, now this. Wow, bro. That's crazy, bro.
All right, I'm gonna do the Jay-Z one on our shit, and then I'm gonna redo the Nas one.
Yeah, so feed the narrative more. The Jay-Z platform. We not beating the allegations.
Yo, I had no idea this was gonna happen. But while you're out there, come follow me. I'm dropping
You cooking, bro.
Unreleased and rare Nas gems. You know what I mean? I'm gonna throw up another one later on this evening after all of this for the festivities.
I mean, Mace, what it is, bro. We just doing the cold open. I just texted Mike D the link, so it's only a matter of seconds before that man is on this podcast.
I seen y'all talking about Freddie, so I had to make sure I came through. I didn't know if it was a slander session or not. You talking about Soul Separately,
bro? I don't know. We gonna get into
yeah. And I know you be
that on top.
Yeah, and I know you be tapped into the salacious side of things.
Yeah.
So,
man,
I know you know the details, man.
Slanderous, man. I'm here for
it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I see the people filing in. The people are filing in. Hold on. All right. You know what I mean?
I see y'all talking about viral sin as well.
Oh, yeah. I had to give him some grief. He taking all the followers that should be coming to us.
Oh, man.
All of Nas fans.
I had no idea. Listen.
He's about to pass that soon. I ain't going to lie. He's about to pass this high.
Here's the story. In February, I did a Jay Dilla series for the whole month because we all know I'm a huge Dilla fan.
Of course.
So let's celebrate Dilla month. I'm gonna throw up a different Dilla joint every day, and it got some attention, but the follower count didn't like jump out the window or nothing. So I was like, you know what? A couple months later, just for the hell of it, let me see what happens. We did our 1 week of on YouTube of Nas rarities and B-sides, you know what I mean, on our YouTube. And so a lot of people kept throwing out, what about this song? You didn't put up that song. You know how our viewers be. And I was like, you know what? I mean, we only have 5 days in a week, but there is like such a plethora of Nas rarities out there. I was like, let me take this over to Twitter, right? And so that's what I did. And the next thing I know, mad followers, man. Nas is heavy out there in the social media.
Well, Nas fan base is the most active. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact.
It is what it is.
And in true rap roundtable fashion, I see immediately afterwards, the imitators came out. So you just following the legacy of the pod, man.
Talk about it,
Listen.
bro.
Hey,
Most
man.
inspirational,
Listen,
most
Listen.
dangerous. Ridge
listen.
Raw in
Come
the
on.
chat said Roundtable about to hold this L. You know what I mean?
Oh, and real,
P-Rock Scola was
real
good.
quick, to whoever fits the shoot. If I'm cooking with my Nas post, don't throw other Nas joints under my feed.
Mm.
Go to your profile and do that, man.
Talk about it.
All due respect, but let me cook. Let me cook on my posts, man.
Simple.
That's what I'm saying.
Jack Liang says Nas fans ain't active enough. I beg to differ.
Hey.
I think Nas fans are the most active space right now outside of like the pop acts. You know what I mean? Like the Drake Hive and the Kendrick fans and all of them. They outside of those guys, who's more active than Nas fans?
Right.
You tell me. Anyway,
People who have strictly grown people fans.
Right.
Like, come on now.
talk about it. I'm about to let Mike D on here. Let's get into it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Let's grant that man access. Mike Dizzle. You know what I mean? I'm dragging on it. You gotta get that connection right. Remember Coop said it was Mike D internet that was funny. But every time I watch it looked like Coop internet funny. So I don't know.
That's what he be saying.
What's up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man himself.
Like D in the building. Got the
Hey,
North
shout out to you guys.
on.
Appreciate y'all having me on.
Of course,
Like,
of
what's
course.
happening, boy?
I'm
All
good,
right.
man. How y'all doing?
Chilling,
Can't complain, man. You know, we didn't think you'd make it. You know, we're proud to have you.
I've been ducking y'all for a long time, right?
About to bring some death row energy. Got the socks
he got
hat
the
on and
socks
everything,
hat
bro.
on,
Like,
too.
yeah.
You know what?
You
I
ready
was gonna wear a Heat hat to troll y'all and the Knicks, but I was like, I'm gonna represent Chicago real quick.
Hey, this is mostly a Laker pod, you know what I mean? I don't know what Cindy rocking with these days. And me and Maze heavy Lakers over here. You
Yes,
might have to
sir.
put on a Celtic something or something like that. You know what I mean?
Y'all not rocking with the Knicks?
Hell no.
Nah, we not Knickerbocker fans over here,
Dini
man.
is.
Dini,
I think.
Dini fake rock with the Knicks.
Right.
When I met Dini, he
dips
was
in
We
and
rock
out.
with the Knicks when they good.
fat. There you go. There you go. There you go. You know what I mean? So Mike D, what it is, good brother? You know,
I want to know what the problem is with what I said.
We gonna sort this
one
out.
of the reasons why I'm here. Like
we're gonna do how we usually do here. We're gonna break this whole thing down. We're gonna bloviate a little bit on it. So
Okay.
Mike D, let's
Yes.
get this thing started. Give us a
Okay.
refresher course. What exactly was it that you said that Kanye did? What to Jay-Z's? What?
I said in the 2000s,
Hey, yo.
and I'm speaking specifically 2001 and on.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye has carried Jay-Z.
Harry.
See anything wrong with what I said? I mean, I think the Black Album was a great, piece of work that Jay put together without Ye's help.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, American Gangster, I think American Gangster is awesome. But we got Kingdom Come 444 and Holy Grail. And the only thing in common here, little to no Kanye work. And I think it's noteworthy that when you talk about American Gangster, Chauncey and LV did a great job, but Puffy is executive producer of that record. And it came out cinematic like things normally do in Diddy fashion. Executive producers see Life After Death. Shit, even see Black Rob's Life Story. So yeah, I think that it's nothing wrong with what I said. I mean, it doesn't diminish anything that Jay is. One of my favorite MCs. Top 3, in my opinion, top 2, period. But the help of Kanye West in the 2000s without Ye's help, I think Jay would just be lost in the 2000s.
Jay-Z would be lost in the 2000s. That's interesting. So that's the thing that loses me. Like you say carry. Carry is a big word. But then you proceed to create an argument that's structured not around carrying, but more so about assistance. If you was to say that Kanye was a great help in Jay-Z's late career, post-retirement angle situation, we could probably have that conversation. I got nothing to say on that front. But when you say carry, that means that without the back of Kanye, there is no Jay-Z, and that's simply incorrect. And it's
I wouldn't say there is no Jay-Z, but I think that we have
once you say carry,
this is what it without him, based on the evidence that we see here, without him, we would have.
We're gonna parse the evidence, but respectfully, Mike, you're gonna let Jarv cook a little bit.
Go ahead.
You said after the blueprint, and then you tried to like hide the Black Album in there, and you tried to slide Kingdom Come out of the way. But the fact of the matter is, those albums happened. The Black Album
Kingdom
happened.
Come's trash. You know that, right?
Hey, listen, we know that. But then American Gangster happened right after that. The next year, that's not a Kanye project. So to say that he got carried, no. The Black
Album. Let me
ask
you this, Jarv.
Hold on, Mike. The Black Album happened within that window of that. You could call it like the post 9/11 trilogy of the Blueprint 2, the Black Album. If you look at the liner notes, that's not a Kanye album.
It's not.
Even within the Blueprint, I feel like you have Kanye's name confused with Just Blaze. Just Blaze has a lot more to do with Jay-Z's success before the retirement than Kanye does. So once we get into that portion of the argument, Kanye would play the role. He was on the team. He might have been Dennis Rodman. Just Blaze was Pippen and Hov was Jordan. Absolutely.
I disagree with you there because
there's nothing to disagree about. The numbers are supported.
No. Let's look at the blueprint. Let's start from the top, right? We know that records like Never Change specifically, that was made years ago. An act from Chicago had that, right? We also know that records like Heart of the City was supposed to be for DMX, supposed to be for Beans. He set the foundation for what the blueprint actually is. We also know that Just Blaze came in after Ye and just basically bit his style. And, Bink would even contest
wrong.
Individual. No. I'll let you cook.
You spreading fallacies, but go ahead.
The other individual that's on the blueprint, Bink, is confirmed that Just Blaze basically was biting Kanye's style to be able to fit within the blueprint structure. That blueprint was set by Kanye West, was it not?
No, it was set by Bink.
All right, let me
Just Blaze.
Bink gave it up to you.
Just Blaze bit off of Bink. Bink has been shooting at Just Blaze for a cool 20 years.
Let me step in
to say that now it's all Kanye. You're telling a lie to feed your narrative.
Let me step in on the subject of the producers of the blueprint. The blueprint, the production blueprint was certainly set by Bink, right?
What are you talking about?
Kanye was,
what's that based on, though, Sin?
What do you mean? What's that based on?
What's that based on? The production.
That's based on Bink's prior production. 1-900 Hustler, for many years, a lot of people thought was like, oh, that's one of Just Blaze's best beats. Come to find out, it was Bink. Bink, like that production style from 1-900 Hustler, like Just Blaze saw that and was like, oh, I could do that, right? And this is no knock on Just Blaze at all. Like Just Blaze is an incredible producer, but one of the best of all time in my book. But he definitely took a page out of Bink's book. If you really listen with a certain ear to Blueprint, you'll see Just Blaze is production wise and technically head and shoulders above Kanye on that album. Now, as a consumer, if you just talking about listening to the songs and listening to like the beats and the samples that were used, right? Whatever you enjoy. But if you listen to it from a production technical standpoint, Just Blaze is head and shoulders above Kanye on that album, and that production style came from Big.
Well, I'm a person who says that You Don't Know is Jay-Z's best song, right? In my personal opinion, I think it's the best song he ever made, right? And so I'm gonna give him that. I think that's the best song in the Blueprint, obviously. Second best song in the Blueprint is Heart of the City. And I do think that, from end to end, if we talk about, structurally put together, Heart of the City is probably the best put together record on the Blueprint, just like how I feel like, The World Is Yours is structurally the best record put together on Illmatic. Might not be the best record per se, but if you want to talk about from end to end production, I mean, it's pretty clear where, the actual influence comes from when it comes to that theme.
How? You're saying jargons, but like how? Where's the influence? Like musically. Let's go.
You don't think? We
hold
skipping
on.
over
See,
this
you
can't be
keep
life
going.
like it didn't happen.
That's why I'm asking you the question.
No, here's the question. I think this is the question that Jarv is trying to get at. What was the Kanye precursor to the production style on the Blueprint?
There you go.
Can't be life.
What was that?
This Can't Be Life from the Dynasty.
So if that's the case, then how do you go to This Can't Be Life, but then gloss over 1-900 Hustlers, both on the same project?
Right. So
they are both on the same project, but if we're talking about soul samples, I think when we talk about the Blueprint, we talk about soul samples. Look at where that sample came from with This Can't Be Life. That's Harold Melvin and the Blue Note. We're talking about soul music here. You know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z himself said once, Ye went out there on Drink Champs and basically said that Just Blaze was biting off of him and Bink confirmed what Ye said. Bink said, yo.
You saying Bink confirmed it.
But on top of that, Jay came out there and said, I think that's unfair to Just. It was a theme of the album, and the theme was soul samples. Who was using the soul samples? It was Ye. It was not on 1-900 Hustle. I'm sorry. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes is soul music.
So what was sampled on 1-900 Hustle, Mike?
It was the 1-900 Hustler. Yeah, it was a rock group by the name of 10 Wheel Drive.
Thank you, Sim.
But the style of
there you go.
What they did with it. See that, like, you can't just say that just because you have the same sample library or the same sample source that it's all going to come out the same. I've heard Ninth Wonder and Havoc both sample the same song and come out completely different. The tone of it, the mood of it, just like two completely different songs. So just because you have the same sample sources doesn't mean that
agree. I'm
taking the same style.
Can we all agree, though, that the soul sample theme in Rockefeller comes from Kanye West?
No, comes from Bink.
Well, what's the?
We can go all the way back to Ski on Reasonable Doubt. Like,
oh man, you're talking about different eras. We all know, we all live this. We know that the Blueprint turned the page on how people were producing records in hip hop, especially on the East Coast, for the next couple of years. That comes from the Blueprint. That's the impact of the Blueprint. Jay said himself that the Blueprint's theme sonically, this is out of his mouth, was soul samples. Right. Who did that? Ye, not Bink.
Okay, that's fine.
So the Blueprint is
what it sounds like you're saying is that the idea of sampling soul records started with the Blueprint, and that there was no precursor to that.
No, I'm not saying that. Obviously,
so that we can't just give Kanye the credit for, oh my God, I decided to sample soul records. Like, that should have been happening for years.
I understand, but like I said, the theme of that album, The Blueprint, was based on soul samples, right?
You keep saying that, but what does that prove?
Let me finish. And years after that, and like I said, East Coast hip hop, it was the thing. Like, they even got a whole playlist, Chipmunk Soul, all that stuff, like the sped up stuff like that comes from Ye. It is what it is. And not to mention that the whole Rockefeller crew was running with that. Were they not? That was the Rockefeller sound. What's the whole powerful music sound like? What's that? That's soul samples.
All right. So this, you and Sin had a good back and forth. I don't like to step on people talking. I know you get stepped on a lot. So we're gonna let you cook today. The point of the matter is this: you saying that it's Kanye West. You're going back to this whole argument that it's Kanye, but in real time, outside of what Kanye did as a solo act, and the people in the chat saying Kanye's getting discredited, we're having a conversation. We just don't throw takes out here. Mike D's gonna get to talk some more. Sinner's gonna get to talk some more. We're just building this out. On Blueprint itself, Izzo's probably Jay-Z's worst single ever. It's a cool song.
Did you feel like that when he debuted?
Yes.
In the BET Awards?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
I've Sinner's known me mad years. I don't even think I've loosely mentioned Izzo. Like, that's not a song to talk about.
He never
In,
played so.
in New York City, in New York City itself, because again, that matters. That song didn't get run like that. Izzo was arguably outside of the MTV Awards moment. That song didn't do shit. Let's call it what it is. 9/11 may or may not have had something to do with that, but it wasn't hitting like that. We move on to the next thing.
I want to interrupt you on that.
Nah, you're not gonna interrupt me. I'm
No,
gonna put
it's
Mike.
we
using
number
it button
8.
here, Mike. I'm gonna.
No, you said that's false. That's false. It
You
peaked at number 8 on the top
rebut
10.
when I'm finished.
Go ahead.
Thank you. You're not doing this today. Izzo did not do nothing in the city. It wasn't on the radio. It didn't do well. It was on a music video show. Jay-Z's a popular artist. If it gets to number 1 or if it does a number, he's one of the most popular acts in the world. So when you throw stats at me like that, it's like, all right, but Jay-Z is Jay-Z. As far as
the record that charted on that album.
That's cool.
I'm just saying, to say it did nothing is false. You know what I mean?
It was a lead single on the biggest artist in the world at the time, arguably, dropping an album. That's how business works, Mike. Weren't you trying to be a rapper once? You know how this works.
Girls. So you not a top 10 single.
So you understand the business of it all. Of course it charted. Let's act like we know what's going on here. Secondly, the follow-up songs, there weren't many big singles. Girls came out, but by that point, what was the album The Blueprint about more than anything else? The beef. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Take the big beat for that.
The beef. That album became about the beef. And then
who produced that record?
Shout out to Kanye. Again, this is not about taking away from Kanye. It's about holding up something that's not accurate. In the aftermath of The Blueprint 1, and I asked anybody, because Mate's been quiet, but we were all outside. In the aftermath of The Blueprint 1, who was the producer that was really, air quote, garnering the Rockefeller sound? It wasn't Kanye. Anybody want to answer that? I know Mike Dino want to answer because it doesn't support his argument.
I would love to answer that.
Who was the producer that had the Rockefeller sound on their back?
Oh, definitely. It was Just. No, I agree.
What are we talking about?
No, but that was for like a 3-year period. We still got 19 years to go. You know what I'm saying?
Understandably so.
Because honestly, Just ran out of gas very quick.
That's
you know
great.
This is a marathon.
But you base your
fast now.
But you're the person that
ain't that what Jay said?
You didn't say 2007, Mike. You didn't say 2010 or 2015.
I said the 2000.
You said the 2000 starting with The Blueprint. And your argument
is starting at year 1.
And your argument is weak from the inception.
Is it?
We go to The Blueprint 2. The album is a smorgasbord of things, and Kanye has some of the worst songs on there. If we being 100,
that's a fact.
Think so?
Yes.
It's a lot of bad songs on there.
There you go. The Black Album is not a Kanye album.
I think that.
So then you
I don't know. I think some people hate it as one of the strongest records on there.
It's not. It's a cool sample, but it's not.
Excuse me, this was one of the biggest songs on there. The You Don't Know remix, Hovey Baby. That's Just Blaze. That was much more of a Just Blaze album.
You know what? I would like to speak to The Blueprint too, since we're going in chronological order.
Why not?
I think
your argument.
I think that The Blueprint 2 is Jay doing some of his strongest MCing. I think it has incredible highs and incredible lows. I think that the reason why it suffers from all of that all over the place double dish shit is because Kanye wasn't at the helm. I think that's another one of those efforts where if he would have been more involved as far as like really putting the pieces together, I think that album would have came together a lot better. I mean, we see what he's done with other artists, you know, from Common, Pusha T to himself. He puts albums together that make sense musically. And as dope as I think Just Blaze is, and he holds the crown for the Rockefeller sound for those 3 years, he's a great spot producer. And see, what Kanye was able to do for Jay was not only make hits for him, but actually when it came down to making full projects for him, he was there to do that. I mean, see, watch The Throne. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you jumping ahead. Slow down. Pump your brakes. You jumping ahead. I'm trying to grab the steering wheel, but we're not getting there yet. we get to 2003, the Black Album happens. Again, not a Kanye album, right? 2004.
Can we stop at the Black Album though?
Talk about it.
Black Album has a lot of great producers on it, and I think that, you know, when it comes to the Black Album, we got to remember, a lot of people thought this was really going to be Jay's last album. So it was all hands on deck. This is kind of one of those all eyes on me situations where you got the who's of producers. I know the original idea was to have Premier on there. I think Pete Rock on, whatever. It was everybody. So it was like, at this point, you take your ticket and you know what I'm saying, make your best beats. And if you make it, you make it. He had to have Just on there. He had to have Kanye on there because of the run that they just had. I think Just got him on that album too, if we be perfectly honest. What he did PSA. Did he do anything else, or was that it?
He did December 4th. December
4th, that's it. Okay. So he did December 4th and PSA, where Ye did Lucifer and Encore. Personally, I think beat for beat, I don't know. How would y'all rank those songs? I say PSA, Lucifer, December 4th, Encore. That's just my opinion.
I mean, it doesn't matter to the conversation.
Yeah, you
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's kind of even when you think about it, though. I don't know. Is December 4th better than Encore?
By that point, I think Kanye had stepped up his technical production game. So he was a little more, neck and neck with Just Blaze technically. And
Just got the drums, man.
Just will always, yeah. I mean, Kanye never had drums, so
yeah, that's what Kanye lacks.
Right. But I think, it's pretty even. I'd say it's pretty even. I wouldn't give it more. I mean, PSA is a monster, though. PSA is a monster of a record. If you like the moment you think about the Black Album, you think PSA immediately.
The best song on the album, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But again, when you got production like, the Neptunes are on there, Timbaland's on there, the Buchanans, Rick Rubin, DJ Quick, Just Blaze, Kanye. I mean, how can you really have a bad album with that? Especially with everybody knowing this is possibly the last Jay-Z album. Everybody's going to bring that A game. So I will give Jay credit for that album, but we also have to factor in the fact that it's a super team and people thought it was the last time.
Shouts to Ninth Wonder. He was on there too.
Ninth Wonder too. I can't forget that. That's one of the stronger records on there. Actually, I think
kind of a nobody. But I mean, this album.
I think that's what put me on the Ninth Wonder and Little Brother too. Threats is a beast.
Yeah. But if we're talking about this album, like, I don't know, this album kind of flies in the face of your claim, because I mean, from here on out,
that's what I mean.
Just Blaze, the Neptunes, Timbaland, like all of these guys, you can't put, like, I'm not, to anybody saying that we're discrediting Kanye, we're not trying to discredit Kanye. Kanye was absolutely a very important stoke in that wheel. But there was so many other producers that he worked with. And it's not like he executive produced these records. Biggs was an executive producer. Dame was an executive producer. Like, so what are we talking about here? Like, you're saying like Kanye was building these out. At this time, I don't think Kanye had the juice to really say, yo, let me mold this album. Let me executive produce this album. That's not what was happening at the time.
He didn't. You're right. But again, I think you guys are stopping in 2003. And
I mean,
that's what we're That's what we're talking about at the moment. That's what we're talking about at the moment.
Yeah. No. When we keep going, my argument going to be made a little bit more. I want to ask y'all a quick question.
Again, it's clear, like I said before, if you would have parsed your argument in 2010, 2015, I have nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? Because to say that carried, that means that everything he did post-retirement, we go to 2004 as a feature act. It's not many. In fact, you could argue that Jay-Z, in a lot of ways, validated Kanye in the space. The Diamonds remix happened. That doesn't matter, right? It's a Kanye beat. So I'm just asking the question. I just want to know.
No. I think the person that validated Kanye as an artist, as an MC, and we were all there. I think it's Talib Kweli.
No.
Him and Most. No. I mean, that's what made people take him serious. I mean, before
in the backpacking space,
people thinking like, okay, well, Jay just with him because he made beats.
So you're saying that Talib Kweli and Mos Def validated Kanye West on a popular scale?
No, as an MC on a core level. And
that's not what we're talking about.
On a popular level, Kanye did that for himself. Jay-Z didn't really help him on the College Dropout like that. He didn't.
But Kanye
Those
wasn't
singles
rapping on
did
those
what
records.
they did based on him.
I don't understand your point because Kanye wasn't rapping on those records. He wasn't rapping on Talib Kweli albums. He had like maybe 4 bars on the Talib Kweli
Talib
song.
took him on his promotional tour with him,
He went
so
on
the
tour,
people could actually.
but he wasn't on records.
No, but they were actually on radio and stuff together. He was carrying them everywhere, and he was out there rhyming. He solidified him as an MC. I think Talib and Most. I put Most in there too because I remember 2 Words was out there early. I remember Most got there on Def Poetry Jam and said Kanye West is the future.
How can someone be carried as an MC when Ron Fest was penning a lot of those bars? That like I don't understand that argument. You know what I mean? Like Kanye was heavy in the Ron Fest bag, bro. Like Kanye was a lyrical assassin, bro. So I don't understand. I don't understand that. Like the fact of the matter is, how could you say he gained confidence as an MC while having assistance with the pen? If we said that about any other rapper, you invalidate it.
What did Ron Fest actually write?
You keep asking that question. You know the
I'm
answer
asking.
to that.
I mean, you said Ron Fest wrote. Like, what did he write?
You know the answer to that. Don't try to pivot the argument, Mike. You're recording in hip hop. You just said that
at the very least, Jesus walks.
The fact of the matter is, how can an MC be validated if he has writers?
He's a producer.
I'm confused by that.
He's a producer and a great producer. What I was going to say, I wanted to rewind a point. I wanted to ask you guys: do you think
there's some super
Black
chats,
Album was better than?
Nah, I didn't forget them. I got them.
Oh, my bad. Do you guys think that the Black Album's better than the College Dropout? I mean, I just want
to. I say that with no hesitation.
Really? Yeah. I disagree.
That's okay.
Do you want to go song for song with that?
No, I don't.
Okay. So I'm sure you don't, because I mean you got All Falls
Down.
No,
I don't, because that's not the subject of the conversation right now.
But I got you.
You keep trying to like veer the conversation somewhere that it has nothing to do with.
I mean, it's just a sidebar. I mean,
we're not sidebarring. We staying on topic here.
So, and also, what label was the College Dropout on?
Okay, Rockefeller. Shout out to the Rock.
Yeah, whose label is that? That's not part of Carrying Too?
No. What? You being serious? What? No.
I mean, we do Raw Jake for his business acumen as well, right?
Hold on. I have a label.
I'm confused.
I signed Mike D, and now suddenly I'm carried by Mike D.
Yeah,
I signed Mike D.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you retire, yes, because in those years you retired, who carried the flag? Now you're Phil Jackson and he's Michael Jordan.
I understand that. We lived it, but what is it? How does like the carry? That's the
you
topic.
See how that's carrying?
He's not carrying anything. Like I don't understand that. How what you're saying to me is Kanye carried Jay by being signed to Rockefeller, the label that was built.
No, not just that. By being
you just said that.
That's part of it. Not only being the biggest artist, being the biggest selling artist on that label, but also putting together his hits, putting together his best efforts in that era. It is what it is.
All right.
When this guy's missing, you drop duds.
So
when he's missing, you get Kingdom Come 444.
Come on. So
wait. I gotta ask a question. Are we talking about carrying Jay-Z as an artist or carrying Jay-Z as an executive?
Both. I think the executive speaks for itself, but as an artist as well, yes. Because now you guys are on Kingdom Come, and I would love to hear what you guys.
I feel like we're having 5 different conversations here, bro.
Right, like this.
I gotta keep it above.
This conversation has gotten so all over the place. I'm talking
okay. We'll pick a direction y'all want to go. We can go.
All right. So let's hit the reset button. Deanie, what's good? Appreciate you pulling in. You know what I mean? 9 to 5 energy in the building.
Yes, sir. Mike D, what up? What's going on?
Mike D is currently attempting to try to talk himself into a circle.
Pretzel.
Point. It's like he's trying to drive through Queens with the GPS, and you know how that goes. Anybody from Queens in the chat that know how Queens runs,
that works.
Mike D's doing right now. So he's talking about executive shit. He's talking about music shit. He's trying to hold up the tent poles of Jay-Z's late career, but then still trying to harken it back to the early 2000s. And then we got in the chat. The chat somehow thinks that I'm upset, but then again, they always think I'm mad. and Mike D is somehow making valid points. So
can it be possible that I am? I guess not.
It depends on the topic of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? It depends on what we're talking about here.
You made a couple, but like there's some other joints. I'm like,
nah.
What is he trying to get at?
I just wanted to catch you up real quick. So let me get back in because we got our first person saying they're gonna try to jump him in the chat. Didn't I tell you before we got on air they was gonna say that? Anyway, I already know how these niggas think.
We have the magic. We have the magic ball, yo.
Yeah,
we have the crystal ball.
So
that's why I'm staying silent, y'all. Y'all saying we jumping them. Y'all know I talk like a motherfucker. I didn't shut the fuck up. We ain't jumping them, man.
Nah, y'all are cool.
Y'all
man.
got silent.
They all good.
Niggas is listening, man.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying, like, I can't co-sign the Rockefeller argument wholeheartedly because at the end of the day, if you're being 100 here, when they had these questions on the rap platforms, they give Rockefeller a lot of love. And Rockefeller, a strong movement as far as presence. But if you're talking about as a record label, with the exception of what Cam did with Come Home With Me and Purple Haze to a lesser degree, what Ye did, majority of which happened post breakup, and what Clue did early on with the First Professional, Rockefeller statistically was never a strong label. It was Jay-Z's label. He was the one who moved the units. He was the one who did the business for the label. So from that perspective, if Kanye comes into Rockefeller and it has that presence, and to a lesser degree has that prestige, I can't give you that he carried Jay with the label because there's no Rockefeller to sign to without Jay-Z. There's no Rockefeller to sign to without the blueprint and Kanye's affiliate. We watched the documentary. We saw how geek Kanye was to even be next to this guy. So we can't downplay that impact of it all, right? Again, if we're talking about music, when Jay came out of retirement and you want to rush the Kingdom Come, I didn't want to get the Kingdom Come just yet, but we're going to get there in a second. The fact is when Jay retired and he went on that feature run and he was on a lot of records and there were a lot of moments, the Dear Summers, the link up with Jeezy, the link up with Rose, so on and so forth, beefing with Jim Jones, etc. Kanye didn't have much to do with that. Jay-Z's position was secure. There was no carrying to be carried. Now you want to say Kingdom Come happens and that album was not good. Again, for the people, about a few people here who don't really pull up, they know how we all feel about Kingdom Come on this podcast. It's not a good album. In the moment, was there a lot of hype for the return? Yes. But when you listen to that album, the album didn't even know what it wanted to be, right? Cool.
That being said, though, Show Me What You Got was a top 10 hit. I'll use my own arguments against you. I'll use my own arguments against you, Sen. It was his return single, lead single, big time act. The lead single's gonna do a number. It's about to stay in power.
Budweiser was behind.
Izzo didn't have to stay in power. Show Me What You Got didn't have to stay in power. And quite frankly, Diddy sampled the beat sampled the record that Show Me What You Got used better than Hove did. Call it what it is. We get to 2007, American Gangster happens. Even within that, there's still more features. Jay is doing this thing. A lot of people to this day hold American Gangster in high regard. We into 2007. Again, Kanye has nothing to do with this album. I think his vocals is on Rock Boys. I don't think he has a producer credit to be found, right? So if we go from 2001,
can I stop you there though?
Do you think?
Is that cool? What do we know Jay for? Like, what is Jay's biggest thing and why he's the GOAT in hip hop?
I don't know if there's one thing you can answer. So why don't you?
Well, it's a lot of things, but I think we hold him high for his hit making ability, right? Yeah,
it's one of.
It's up there, but
it's up there. It's up there. I think that's what for a lot of
it's the fact that he was an LMC but also made hits. That's
exactly
the combination.
Yeah. That's how I look. Thank you, Sin.
Exactly. No.
I never look at
the
hits as much as I look at him. I think Hove is great. Some people think he's overrated. I think he's all time great, and I stand on that.
No, he's a great lyricist.
I mean, because just making hits makes him sound like Flo Rida, and we know
right.
No. I think it's just the fact that he is all around, like Biggie was, right?
And you say outside of niggas in Paris, what are these massive smash Kanye Hove hits?
What I was gonna say is there's literally no record on American Gangster that's charted. None. I mean, and I like American Gangster a lot. I think it's his fourth best album. And I think Jay, to me, he is in his bag the most when he's not trying to make hits. But when Ye's not involved,
Right.
see, when Ye's involved with him,
Right.
he makes cohesive efforts and he's able to hits.
Right.
Whenever Ye's not involved, the hits are going to go away.
But
and
the difference,
a lot of the time, the cohesiveness goes away. Now, luckily, on
now I'm gonna jump in right here, and I'm gonna jump in. Hold on,
it's not true.
Time out, Sam,
It's
time
making me
out, time
tight
out.
because it's not true. But go
Hold
ahead.
on, hold on.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, and now we got to start telling the truth here. We can't fan the flame, the slander flame, to give the crowd the beast, the blood that they want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Post-retirement Jay-Z, let's say up until Blueprint 3, he was not a guy who was actively chasing hits.
I'm glad you said post Blueprint 3. What's different about the Blueprint 3 to you?
We're going to get there.
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, as we build this up, the guy who came out of retirement was already a made man. He didn't have to follow that route. He did what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And American Gangster happened. I can't speak to Blueprint 3 because, again, now I'm going to tip my hand to you right here. I don't like Blueprint 3. I don't think that album is good at all. But if I put that album on and I spin it, I don't, outside of maybe Empire's State of Mind and Run This Town, that's not an album that was actively chasing radio.
You don't think so? You don't think to the next one was chasing radio?
Forgot about that record.
You got that one. Featuring Drake was chasing radio?
It's a cool record. That's like saying Nigga Please was chasing radio. It wasn't. Some records are just cool.
Anytime you get a Neptune record,
that's chasing. not with Jay-Z, bro. That's not true.
Maybe Allure might be the outlier, but again, we even saw in the documentary that Pharrell was trying to go to that whole dead president's chamber because they weren't there for reasonable doubt. But again,
your whole argument is based on Blueprint 3 being executive produced by Kanye West and Jay-Z, basically sliding back into the pop rap lane. That's been your argument the whole time.
That's not really the pop. I never said the pop rap. but
that's like what it is. See, we tell the truth at the Rap Roundtable. That's what you've been talking about the entire time. Pop rap, big records.
I think we need to rewind a little bit.
If you would have said 2009, I have nothing to talk about.
We need to rewind. Jay's whole formula is based on what Big was able to do on Life After Death. His ability to
retired.
No, his ability to make street records and radio records.
No, make sure you say it right. The Jay-Z before he retired followed the Biggie formula. Make sure you say the whole sentence accurately, Mike.
You don't think that the returning Jay did the same thing?
I'm actually a Jay-Z
fan. You don't think he tried to make hits?
I've been there since '96. I know exactly when he's attempting to do exactly what he's trying to do. So just like when he dropped God did. He was going for a moment and everybody knew it.
What do you think he was going for with the Blueprint 3?
Pop
rap. Obviously. Look at the singles.
Of course.
Where's the street records? That's what I want to know.
Post-retirement Jay, he left the streets. And thank you, Sin. And that's the difference between the two guys. There was a street record, there was a street single, then there was the lead single. Post-retirement Jay was just rapping. The nigga was just doing it for the love.
You don't think DOA was a street single?
No, he thought
he said this is for the mixtape Weezy.
Not at all.
He
was trying to get auto-tune. He thought he that was his first realization that he's not that anymore.
Again,
he was trying to get auto-tune out of here.
He was talking about people smiling too much and T-paining too much. All that. That's his street record. That's what that was. And that was the first thing. That was the lead off.
It wasn't a street record, bro.
It was supposed to be.
No, it wasn't.
It was supposed to be.
He was trying to make a statement with that.
Asking niggas to stop singing is not a street record, though, bro. Like, he
said this is not for the radio. He said this on the record. He said this ain't for the.
It doesn't make it
a street record, though, bro.
Street.
Hold on. There's too many voices talking now.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying this is where I guess you and we differ, because like street record, we have a different definition for a street record. You know what I mean? DOA is not a street record. Just because it wasn't for radio doesn't make it street. Like this isn't a duet. Like it's not one or the other. It's not black and white. You know what I mean? So just because he didn't make DOA necessarily for the radio, even though the radio did kind of spin it,
Mhm.
it doesn't make it a street record. We define street records as something else.
Right.
I mean,
I understand what you're saying, and you're saying that based on, I guess, personal opinion and preference, but you don't think that he was trying to make a street record, regardless of, how
what is a street record to you?
Said
What's a
that
street
in the
record to
record.
What's a street? What do you define as a street record?
I define a street record as like, you don't know, a record that wasn't supposed to be
I think
put out there to radio and shipped out there, but the people picked up on their own.
now the thing is, I don't know, maybe we're trying to say the same thing from a different point of view.
I think so.
DOA for us, that's not a street record. He came back, he was mad at the auto-tune. It was a lot of bullshit going on. I think like there was guys like what was that? A-Rap Money was a record that was going crazy around that time. Yeah. You had a lot of people auto-tune. It was nasty. It was really nasty during that time. It was a nasty time. So Wayne was doing some shit on auto-tune that was really nasty. So from Kanye did it decent. I'm not even mad at Ye. I think Ye, T-Pain, and a couple others did auto-tune semi-justice. I mean, of course, T-Pain top of the food chain. But like some guys did it good, but there was a lot of guys because again, late ringtone rap, late single rap, it was nasty out here. He dropped DOA to me, from my point of view, not as a street record, but as a situation where he thinks the space is nasty. I'm out of retirement as it is. We got to get this shit up out of here. You know what I mean? That's how we look at a street record. Like on the flip side of that, for us in New York, a street record is what more can I say was in 2003. That's a street record for us. 1-900 Hustler in 2000. That's the street single for us. That's a street record. It's not DOA. You know what I mean? DOA, another bad song. Song was not good.
So what's a single that the artist says is not supposed to be played for radio, but supposed to be played by the mixtape DJs? That's not them.
Again, Mike, you're a rapper, so you know lyricism. Nah, it's still in you because you're trying to play with words right now. You're trying to get me. But the point of the matter is, he was trying to make a statement through bars. He wasn't aiming for it to be a street record. Most of it, he was trying to restore a feeling. That was the whole point of DOA, to restore a feeling.
Restore a feeling using the streets, right?
I don't know about the streets. He was trying to get the bullshit out of here. That's how I took that record.
I think we got to get to these super chats because I think we might have lost one.
Do you think, Sam?
About...
We'll get back to the argument in a second.
No, go ahead. Do you think? Got to pay the bills.
Yeah, Mad Max. Shouts to you. I'm not even a Jay fan, but the chat's hate for him is borderline sus. Like they secretly like him on some female shit. Like,
shouts to Max.
Max again.
Mad Max.
We got to hope for the lifestyle and the talk making hits was just a bonus. Kanye more known for hits than Jay. Mike wouldn't say this for Big and Puff. Free, shouts to you. Take out Ye's contribution of Jay's work in the 2000s. Who is Jay? A legacy act. He'd be closer to Snoop at the time. Okay. And that's it. And then there was another one that we lost, I think.
We lost a few. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, like what are niggas gonna say about Nas in the next 10 years after Hit Boy saved him?
No, they're gonna say that he's the greatest. Look who we talking to. We talking to a room full of not Mike D, but we talking to a room full of Nas fans.
Like
so you already know what's up.
Hit Boy ain't gonna get none of that love, huh?
I'm gonna put it like this.
Hit Boy should get that same consideration that he reinvigorated Nas.
He saved him. He saved him. No, Mike.
Is he carrying Nas?
You know what? I wouldn't say carry.
Tread lightly. Tread lightly.
Now you want to tread lightly.
No. You know why I say carry though? I say carry because he did They did a rap album together. Watch the Throne is why I say carry. And you know why? And I think that's where that whole conversation came from because this man is on the roll. This man's
producing 4 entire albums doesn't equate to a carry though.
No. I just want to clarify.
Come on, brother.
Right, I need a 20. I need a 20.
Y'all gonna let me talk real quick?
No, I got you. I'm actually setting you up. I'm trying to run the break now.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to run the break. So you saying to me that 4 consecutive albums coming off of Nasir, Nas is on fire. The sound is locked in. That's not carried. But Jay does an album, and I felt like you got caught with some hyperbole, feeding the beast that is the chat because you set it on wax with a room full of Nas fans. So you fed the beast that said some slanderous whole shit, taking your whole fandom away from you, and that's carried. Mike D, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, the difference between what Hit Boy and Nas got going on and what Jay and Ye have going on is the fact that Kanye was coming off of making great rap albums himself. And so this man comes with the College Dropout. Then he comes with Late Registration. Then he's come with Graduation. 808s and Heartbreaks Changed the Game. And then he comes with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And here comes Jay like, yo, man, let me ride that wave and let's make Watch the Throne. And Watch the Throne is pretty much, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy Part 2. That's the carrying part.
We agree, though.
And MC,
we are here on that.
No, I just want to make it, show the difference between Hit Boy and Nas.
Okay.
Hit Boy is doing his thing from a production standpoint, and Nas is pretty much catching everything that Hit Boy is throwing him production-wise. So I think that's a little bit evenly threaded there. But Jay's getting out-rapped by Kanye West on Watch the Throne. And we know Jay's a way better MC than Ye. And that's where the carrying comes in at. When you get out-rapped by your producer on an album that you chose to jump on with him, it's kind of carrying. That's all.
No, but keeping it 1,000 again, Mike D. Once we get to this point of Jay's career, I don't have pushback.
Okay. So your pushback was based on 01 to 03.
01 through 08. Everything up until Blueprint 3. Jay was solidified. He did a lot of, again, I'm gonna be a super fan because I don't get no love from the chat. I understand that. But the fact of the matter is Jay-Z was a made man, right? I'm the heel here. I already know what it is. Made man. He did it on his own. He did it with Kanye. He did it with Just Blaze. He had relationships as far as producer, rapper relationships with Ye, Just Blaze, Neptunes, and Timbaland. So if we're gonna do that, then you got to say that to somebody else's point, I forgot in the chat, that Jay-Z relied on top tier production to get his point across. And if that's the argument here, hell yeah, he did. So what? You know what I'm saying?
No. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But once we get to 2009, and you bring in Kanye for the executive producer, and Kanye was a superhero by that point.
I think, to your point, all those producers you named, there were super producers in the 90s and early 2000s. I think what happened was Kanye just outlasted them and was continuously reinventing himself production-wise.
Yeah, but
there was a time period where the Neptunes were kind of lost. And
when you say outlasting, Mike, and I'm gonna pass it right back to you. This is not me necessarily cutting you off. I'm passing it right back to you. When you say pass, you gotta think about what the starting point was as far as full-time hip-hop producers. You could say that Neptunes and Timbaland had already hit their peak. Kanye was ascending while they were descending. So that's not a fair argument in my point of view. And to BCM D-Dub, bro, I see you here riding in the chat. You lucky I know you, Dietrich Swain, because the venom is coming, my nigga. I see you.
Dietrich Swain. Oh,
Keep it up. Keep it up, Dietrich.
You're right. Those guys were around years before Ye, so that might not be fair to say in that respect. But what I'm saying is Jay had to continue on, and he couldn't sit there and go with the guys who might have lost a step or two. I got to keep going with this guy who keeps, like you said, ascending. And I think that's what continuously happened, especially in the 2010s, where we saw that a little bit more. I'm just saying that Ye was there the whole time. And even if we look at from 01 all the way up to 08, man, his impact on the Blueprint is undeniable. And that's the one that kind of changed the course in that time period.
We're not gonna allow you to take Just Blaze's credit off his mantle because you want to give it to Kanye. Because again, once the Blueprint happened, Jay-Z's entire relationship production-wise, you could even say Kanye, with the exception of a couple of moments, he was in 3rd or 4th place. Just Blaze
based on the resume. based on the resume, the production resume, and what we saw these producers do after they leave Jay-Z's presence.
After they leave, no, stop. We're not talking about that, Mike.
No. I just want to say, I'm not dissing Just Blaze or anything.
I need
I'm
us
fully
to stay
confident.
on topic.
I'm fully confident that Kanye West would have been able to complete the blueprint without Just Blaze input. Because what album did Just Blaze actually put together?
But see, I understand. You see, you're saying two different things. You keep trying to parse your arguments to have a point. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the relationship directly to Jay-Z. And the fact of the matter is, once the blueprint happened, Just Blaze was here, Neptunes was here, Timbo was here, Kanye was in fourth place.
You think he was in fourth place like that?
The music speaks to it. What do you mean? I'm not even making this up. Go check the credits.
What Timbaland records you? No, I love Timbaland.
Check the credits.
I love Timbaland. I love Timbaland. I'm a huge Timbaland fan and Neptunes fan. But when it came to the hip hop shit, I didn't. If you're asking me what I want a rap beat from the Neptunes, Timbaland, or Kanye, I guess depending on what you're looking for. But
in 2001, we're talking about.
Those guys are going to give you hits over Yes, I agree with that. But if we look at the blueprint, again, look at what Timbaland gave Jay on the blueprint. And Neptunes didn't even get a call for the blueprint because they couldn't fit within that scheme. We all know that Ola Ovito is a song that shouldn't even be on the blueprint sonically. Same thing with
I don't think there's anything wrong with that song. I always love that song.
No, it's a good song. It just shouldn't be on that album.
But we're gonna are we gonna discredit Timbaland's contribution to hip hop?
No, I'm not gonna.
Big Pimpin', or even Jay's hits, his hit discography. Big Pimpin'.
He works really well with Missy and Jay. But
9-8 originator, Jigga what?
Yeah.
Bro, back to volume 2, bro. What are we talking about here?
Honestly, that's more of a credit to Jay and his versatility because not a lot of people could catch those Timbaland tracks.
That beat was crazy, bro.
Copy. So wait, so Jay over a Timbaland track is a credit to Jay,
Jay-Z.
but Jay over a Kanye track is a credit to Kanye.
You seen Fade to Black, right?
Bro.
Walking down.
No. You seen Fade to Black, right? You saw him feeding him those Lucifer lines, right?
I understand that. No, I understand completely.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you got it, bro.
It works one way, but it don't work the other way.
Oh, go ahead. My bad. Because Timbaland had his shot on Holy Grail, right? What happened?
Let's get to
Timbaland
Holy
did
Grail.
a whole lot of stuff on Volume 3. What happened?
Holy Grail, the title song to Magna Carta Holy Grail was a number 4 hit. Went 4 times platinum.
That album's not good. And
it's not good. No. Look.
You don't think Justin Timberlake has anything to do with that?
We're gonna get into an argument with Jarv because Jarv actually likes that album. Right? But that's not the conversation.
Why you had to mention that though? I stayed quiet.
I'm sorry, but that's not the conversation. That's not the conversation. The conversation is because we kind of skipped from what was it? American Gangster to Blueprint 3 and skipped right over Magna Carta Holy Grail. And probably for good reason, because I'm not a fan of that album. But if we're talking about chart placements and hits and carrying, like Kanye also had nothing to do with that album. Holy Grail, a Timbaland produced song featuring Justin Timberlake, true, but it was a top hit.
Saying you don't think Justin Timberlake being on that record had anything?
But that's not the conversation. That's not the conversation. The conversation is, did Kanye have something to do with it?
It's a bad album.
Did Kanye have something to do with it?
That looks good for Kanye.
We calling another 20-second timeout. Y'all peep how every time Mike D point get counterpointed, he tried to change the argument. This guy's a master.
I'm changing the argument. What am I changing?
This guy's a master.
What did I change? Hold on. Tell me what I changed, Jarv. What did I change?
For office.
First
Mike
you talked
pro,
about anytime we talk about hits, you go to the album. And then we talk about the album, you go to the hits. I see you, Mike D.
I feel you, Bob, but again, this is a hit. This is a hit. With a pop
star. Mike, you started the conversation talking about hit records, bro. These are your words. We didn't say it. You did.
Because Kanye.
And then when we bring up the hits, you talk about the albums.
Yeah.
You keep flip-flopping.
We got to go to
Not
some
flip-flopping. Give me a J hit without Ye that doesn't have a superstar on it, like Alicia Keys.
Now we changing the argument again. The argument
we got to get to
Justin Timberlake.
The argument
some
could
super
change.
chats.
Ridge Raw 7. Mike D likes women. Be clear. Go ahead, Sam.
36 Chambers. He said, saying Jay isn't known primarily for hit making is wild. Of course he is. Jay is the pop culture pantheon for crossover or accessible hip hop for the masses. No shame in being known for that. And again, we're not saying that he's not known for that. We're saying he's not solely known for that, right? Because there's a lot of rappers that make hit records, but they're not the caliber of MC that Jay-Z is. So this what we're saying is that he's the one that probably best combined those two elements, right?
I think that volume 2, that's why that's so important for him, because he was able to legitimately get in that GOAT conversation at that point because he had the hit records, you know what I mean? And it was piggybacking off of, similar things with Big. Like when Big had those hit records and the street records and all that, he's like, I'm the best.
Yeah.
So those records are important. And I think that Jay being true to form, that's the blueprint 3. I think that's the last time he was actually true to complete Jay-Z form and what we know him for. You know what I mean? Because the Holy Grail song, man, I mean, it might have been a hit, but it's not a good song.
I mean, I'm not a fan, but a hit is a hit. If we talk about hits, it was a hit.
Listen, you know Mike is gonna change the argument to suit his
I'm just used to
respect
it.
I legit
quality got matter in the hit.
I legitimately respect the game that you're playing. You know what I mean? I like it. It's like you got the left hand out, and then as soon as we reach, you change hands. I like it. You're hustling. but at the end
does the quality not matter in the hit though?
Nah, but see, again, we are talking about two different things. If you want to break down the whole thing and you wanted to say that Kanye was more influential in the substantive portion of Jay-Z's career, again, that's a different argument. But you said he carried him, and you said it from 2001 through today. That's not accurate. And each time we've pointed out things that support our point of view, you changed the argument. You came on here talking about hits, then we pointed out this, and this. Then you talked about albums. Then we pointed out albums. He said, "Oh, well, that didn't have hits, so we need a Blueprint 3." Like, I see what's going on here, Mike D. We see you.
I think I said this, baby.
Are going to support you because they don't like us. But the people who with eyes in their head can see what's going on here.
I think I said this maybe like 20, 25 minutes ago.
Do you think, bro?
Kanye gives Jay that opportunity to do both. He's known for being the guy with cohesive projects, street shit, and hit singles.
But at the time,
that when Ye's involved,
but at the time,
involved, it's just one or the other.
But the point of the matter is, at the time when he leaned on Kanye the most, that didn't happen. He wasn't street nigga Hov anymore. 2009, you're not really getting that. You're not.
What do you feel like Heart of the City is?
I said 2009, bro. I didn't say 2001. It's 2009 when he.
So you're conceding. You're conceding to the fact that he
started the show with that.
2009.
If you started later in the aughts, there is no conversation to be had. Well, once you start looping in things while he was still him in that regard, that's not an accurate statement. That
so
was
your issue with what I said is the 01 to 08.
Because it was hyperbole bordering slander.
I don't think it's slander.
Yeah, but you believe it's hyperbole.
I don't. I mean,
you do, because you had to think about that.
I just wanted to cover slander first because, that could be taken another way. But the blueprint, again, Ye is the blueprint of the blueprint. And I believe that. I think Bink believes that. And I guess that's where we're kind of having a disconnect because y'all don't believe that.
Nah, we're not having a disconnect about that. We're having a disconnect about you saying he carried it for 2001, and that's not true. That's notice I've been on message this entire recording. I haven't switched my pivot yet.
I'm not switching anything either.
From 2009 until let's say now-ish, not even now, 2017. You could give it to Ye. There's no conversation to be had. Watch the throw happen. Kanye was at the peak of his powers as far as being a curator, not only a rapper, a producer, a project builder. He did the Cruel Summer for good music. His hands was in so many different pots. He was even working with Drake a little bit. Like he did some things, right? So you say Jay got in that bag and Sin and I spoke to that conversation as far as Watch the Throne when it happened. And he kind of scoffed at it because he was like, yo, he just trying to, Sin said it himself. He just trying to feed off of that, my beautiful dark twisted fantasy energy. And I couldn't disagree. If you're saying that he carried him, he executive produced Blueprint 3, and he tried to curate the album that put Jay in a certain lane, I grant you that, right? 2013, I'm the only person on earth that likes Magna Carta Holy Grail. I'll take that L 10 times out of 10. I love that.
We all got our album.
There you go. Then you got 444. I don't think that album is good at all. I said it on your platform. I say it on this show all the time. But if we're talking about Blueprint 1 all the way through 2008, and we're talking about being carried, that's not true. And if anybody else agrees with that, I'm not hearing it, because Jay-Z's career speaks for itself. To what's his name? Tango Face, it hasn't made any counterpoints. If you were outside and alive and you breathed and your ears worked and you had a functioning brain between 2001 and 2008, you don't need a counterpoint from me. You heard the music. It speaks for itself. And if you need data, go to Google and you look at the liner notes and you'll see where Kanye placed as far as Jay-Z's keynote producers during that time frame. It's all there. Do the knowledge.
Let me ask you something. What does the Dynasty sound like to you sonically?
It's all over the place. That album's trying to touch all regions.
Exactly.
West Coast, East Coast.
Sounds like he's looking for a sound, right?
Nah, he was being a pop rapper. He was trying to be the #1 act touching all coasts, because that's what he was in 2000.
Sounds like, an artist with, not a lot of direction production-wise. Sounds like he's looking for the next thing, like what's going to be the next sound. Sounds like a Blueprint, somehow that was found. And my theory is, and not even really a theory, Kanye West said it himself, set the tone for that record.
Shout out to Kanye.
Yeah. And I think that the Blueprint is a big reason why, the other records that he made after that went the way that it did. The Blueprint is very important. It's a key piece here.
It is.
And honestly, without the Blueprint and without Kanye being the architect of the Blueprint, I probably would have just said from 2010 on. But with the Blueprint being what it is,
but that doesn't mean he carried him like
in the registry of the Library of Congress,
right?
It's in the Library of Congress, right?
Yeah, but I live on Earth, and once you use the word carry, that negates everything you just said. You ain't say help, you didn't say assist, you didn't say build a blueprint, pun intended. Okay. You said carry. That invalidates the whole thing. Yeah, because it's not accurate.
I think this is where the disconnect is. I understand now. So I've been saying the disconnect for an hour. I made my carried statement based on 09 on, chiefly, right? But then I applied it to everything because of how I feel about the Blueprint and how important it is to Jay-Z in the early 2000s.
Okay.
But yes, he was who he was around that time and didn't really, he needed Ye, man. He did. Do you think he's not the most important piece to Jay at that time?
In 2001?
Yeah, who would you
say? Just Blaze was more important.
Just Blaze still is?
Yes.
But how could Just Blaze beat that if he copied what Ye did?
I would look.
Who
2000
produced
2002,
the songs?
It was either Neptunes or Just Blaze.
Neptunes, and I love Neptunes, my personal favorite production team at that time. They're not gonna make you an album, especially then. They's known for making an album. You know what I'm saying? Like Timbaland ain't gonna make you no album unless you.
Sorry. Wait.
The clips
what's
have
Lord
some heat.
Willin'? What's Lord Willin'?
Yeah.
What?
Lord Willin's a dope album, but it's not Jay-Z level, man. I think they didn't really hit that stride until they made
Hell Have No Fury?
Y'all have no, but that's 06. You know what I'm saying? That's the one album that the Neptunes can go to from a rap standpoint.
Okay,
and say,
but you're saying the Neptunes ain't gonna make you no album. You just said kind of blanket said that across the board.
Well, I mean, if you're Jay-Z,
and I think that's when
they made two great albums.
When you get yourself in trouble because you
like
thoughts come in your head and you just
it's a great album. Yes,
I think Lord Will's good. I remember having that. I got that.
One is a classic.
Lord Will is tight, but it's not, it's not He'll Have No Fury.
But it's the statement you make, Mike, because you just said they can't put an album together, but you just acknowledged that they did put a good album together. It's the same way you use the word carry. The context, my brother, the context is crazy.
That's all I've been saying the whole time.
Like, I'm gonna go back to the
I think
all
I'm
I've been
offensive,
saying
though.
the whole time.
So did Kanye carry Nas with that bum ass Nasir album? Like, what do we like? That's the way you can't flip it when you want to flip it, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Just like if Hit Boy has not had that contribution to Nas, then I don't want to hear that Jay had that Kanye had that with Hov, bro, because he's curating entire albums for this dude. 4 straight pieces, bro. 4.
Great piece of work.
So if that's not carrying, and don't tell me, he ain't make no other dope albums before. That don't got nothing to do with nothing, my brother. What's being made? You know what I'm saying? They're in the studio together, they're making crack. If he's not carrying them, then who's being carried?
So what you think Nas did on those albums?
I
You
love
think
Nas.
Nas did his part, or it's all about the beat?
And this is why I can speak to this. But who's the architect of the projects, my dude? Who's sequencing? Who's producing? Who's doing all the behind the scenes shit? Nas is rapping, right or wrong.
From what I'm understanding, they were putting this stuff together. But whatever. What do I know?
I don't see Nas on the drum machine, bro. I don't. Like, maybe y'all do. Y'all got a different connect.
Remember, they got the plug. You heard?
You did? Y'all got a different type of time.
Inside info, man. But Nas be throwing the samples at people and all that.
All I'm saying is, you say without Jay, let's say Jay's late career, does it sound completely different without the blueprint and whatever Kanye brought to the table? Of course. The thing is, we get put in this position when we have these conversations where, because we're arguing different perspectives, it gets to a point where people feel like we're trying to move Kanye out the way and what he contributed didn't matter. Hell no, that could never be the case. Never. Kanye's too important to rap. I've even argued on this show, on the internet, before Kanye became Ye and he was on the meds and his mom's passed. First 4 to 5 albums out the gate, you could say no one had a better 5 to start a career. You know what I mean? I said that. You know what I mean? He was important to the blueprint. He was instrumental. He was instrumental to what Jay-Z became post-retirement. Hell yeah. But my whole point is, and I'm going to keep saying it till I'm blue in the face, he didn't carry in between 2001 and 2008. He played a role. And in fact, he became such a role player that he got mad and made the song Big Brother because Jay was pushing him out of the way. He wasn't the star player that he was meant to be. Things happened later on in the future that changed the argument. That's what made Watch the Throne so surprising for a lot of us in the space, because based on what we knew to the time, who would have thought that Hov and Ye, even Hov being on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, was a bit of a surprise. You know what I mean? And having the presence that he had on that album. But between 01 and 08, Jay did what he needed to do on his own 2 feet, with Kanye lurking and being a contributor. He basically had a great first quarter. The blueprint is a great first quarter, but if we talking about 4 quarters between 01 and 08, by the 4th quarter, he's on the bench. He's on the bench.
Well, I want to piggyback off of what you're saying.
Carrying between I just want to make that clear. I'm not coming off of that. Carrying between 01 and 08 is literally not accurate. Everything from 09 and forward, have at it. 01 and 08, that is historically inaccurate.
Well, okay. It's funny that you're mentioning years where he was actually retired too. So,
but he was still rapping. There was not a
01
year,
to 08.
but there was not a year.
What are his memorable, outside of Dear Summer, because you got Dear Summer, and I'm with you on that. Do you think that his other appearances are that memorable during his retirement?
I guess you don't. That's what you're saying. You don't think it was.
I mean, Hustlin' Remix was cool. What was the
big ass record though?
It was cool.
Big ass
record. The regular one was big. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna give Busta Rhymes points here,
was
like
cool.
These records were already big.
Right, but when Hov got on it, they became something else.
It's different.
I think maybe to y'all though. I think that's where the disconnect is too. Maybe y'all weren't hearing Hustlin' like that.
I mean, that's not true.
The shit was already big.
Nah, that was one of the biggest songs on New York radio.
Go Crazy wasn't crazy? In 05?
Go Crazy. That's a quotable.
Okay.
And that was 05, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Go Crazy. I think he did his thing there. He did his thing on Dear Summer, but I mean, verses here and there, great. But when you got to make a whole project, it's a little different. I hold the blueprint very high, I guess. And I think that I hold Kanye's role in the blueprint very high. Based on what I heard on the Dynasty, this was an MC who was looking for the next sound. I don't know what his next album would have sounded like if Kanye wasn't in tow. And to your point, Jarv, him not really getting Kanye as involved as he should have in the early times, maybe he should have. Maybe that was a bit of a misstep.
It wasn't a misstep because it didn't impact his career, not at all.
Kingdom Come is a misstep.
Hey, it's a bad album, and he followed that with American Gangster less than a year later. Fire album.
I don't know. Got a bad album. Do you think he was pleased with the results of American Gangster?
I can't. I'm not part of Rock Nation's camp. I can't answer that.
But I mean, just based on the response, though, the response is, I need to make Blueprint 3.
The critical response,
records out there.
The critical response was there, but once you sign to Live Nation and there's different money involved, you can't do shit for the love. So
and again, you gotta call. You gotta call. Yeah.
And who said that? If you said 2009, I'd have gave you the point. Jarv did. So again, you're fishing for a point that I've already granted to you a long time ago.
So let me ask you this, Jarv. We talking about 04,
01 through
08. No, 04, 05, he's retired. So we got 2 great verses in 2 years. We're cool with that. That's still him being who he is.
Y'all call Andre the GOAT for that.
I do not.
Talk about it.
I do not.
The goalpost
and the people come at me all the time. He's disqualified. He's disqualified from any GOAT conversation.
I don't know about that. You let them tell it.
If you don't have one single song in a 30-year career with 3 verses, just you're disqualified.
Fair play. You're the first person that's ever said that.
We needed someone from Atlanta.
You're the first person that's ever said that.
Thank you.
It's the truth, man.
Super
it's
disqualified.
disrespectful to people who got to put together full efforts, and it's disrespectful to the Outkast brand. Like Big Boy ain't do nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's get to some super chats. My apologies to people with the super chats sitting there, but we want to let Mike D talk because he doesn't always get a chance to. 36 Chambers again. Not that we don't know Jay is an all-time MC and top-notch lyricist, but he clearly strives for big hits. They make money and carry the brand. That's pretty much our point. Andrew Williams, Jarv, it's not the same because other great albums by Nas aren't produced by hit boys such as Illmatic, It Was Written, Stillmatic, Godson's Lost Tape. So I guess this is a counterpoint to the point that I guess we were saying that if Kanye carried Jay-Z, then we also have to be able to say Hit Boys carrying Nas, and he's saying, but Nas has all these other great albums. So
Jay don't have other great albums?
Jay doesn't have great albums that Kanye wasn't involved with? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, y'all dudes is wild, bro.
It's crazy, bro. It's bizarro land.
So Andrew, clear that up. Are you saying that Jay-Z doesn't have great albums that Kanye wasn't involved with? Follow up, Andrew. Thank you. Andrew Williams again. Mike D cooking. So he's a Mike D fan. Copy. All right.
Nothing wrong with that.
I can't just be cooking.
Niggas got they followers.
Again, like I said earlier, and I said off wax. I said we're gonna have Mike D on the show, and they're gonna pull up in here the Nas fans at nauseum, and we're gonna. I said it right before we got on the show. I said we're playing an away game. We know what we walked into today. I don't value what they have to say. A lot of them. The people who want some ignorant shit, I don't care about y'all. The people who going back and forth and we have a real discourse in the chat, I've always fucked with them. But the people who just be like, fuck Jay-Z, Jay-Z's good, you're a groupie. As soon as you say Jay-Z's good, you're a groupie. He's garbage. He's overrated. Anyway,
Jay's incredible.
And it's like for all this Nas stand, you think Nas album sales would be better. Last Drink did 22K. Like, where the fuck are all y'all niggas at, B? Like, where are y'all? Like,
oh Lord.
What are we doing here?
Too far, dude.
Bro, what are we talking about here, bro? What are we talking about here? Come on, bro. We keeping it a bean or we keeping it a bean?
Oh, wow.
I bought it. A lot of loudmouth niggas in the chat. Where's that?
Pulled up from half court. God damn. Ab Studio or AB Studio with the 5 pound The 5 pound.
Dini really went in though.
Yo,
Yo.
22K, my nigga.
Shouts to our blokes out there.
Out of line. Where's all this love at, man?
Jarv, there wouldn't be no blueprint without Ye and Bink. And Bink even said himself, it started with him and Ye. And if we just take J Records with Ye tops it.
What happened after Blueprint? What happened all Blueprint with Just Blaze, or what happened after Blueprint with Just Blaze? I don't understand. Why do we keep ignoring Just Blaze?
Because Just Blaze was copying God's style, man.
Come
like
on.
he didn't work on that.
One of the hardest tracks on that album is
can I touch this man?
Listen. Time out. Because look, when everybody has like an early point in their career, right? They're trying to find a sound. They're trying to find footing. If Just Blaze, let's say for argument's sake, Just Blaze did copy both Bink and Kanye, right? I say more Bink than Kanye, but let's say both of them, right? But in the process produced You Don't Know and Girls, and Breathe Easy. Those are monster records. Those beats. Let's say he did take, copy their style. He took some parts of their style. Those records, technically speaking, they're on the level with Bink, and technically speaking, are better than Kanye's productions on that album. So just like if we leave it at Just Blaze was copying, Kanye and Bink, and just leave it at that, we're downplaying Just Blaze's technical ability as a beat maker and producer, and I'm not having that.
Let me ask you this though, Sin. Do you not think that, let's just say this man Ye comes in and he made Heart of the City while he was unpacking his stuff, moving into his Jersey apartment with his mom, whatever, right? Had the record for a minute. Jay gets it, makes a classic off it instantly. And Jay goes to, Justin, like, look, this is what my man Kanye's making. I need you to make me some heat. You sit here and take home these records, get to your beat machine, and then you're coming with stuff. You're probably going to come with a better record because you've been able to listen to this person
Not if you don't have the skill.
Again. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not to knock.
Bro, listen. If I meet Just Blaze and I'm like, yo, Just Blaze, hand me some of the records that you sampling, and I take it home, I have confidence in my own beat making abilities. I'm not coming up with better fucking beats than Just Blaze. Just Blaze is better than me. You know what I mean?
Comparable talents at that time. I think Kanye's more talented overall, but Just Blaze is talented as well. But if a very talented person is able to study another person and their work, yeah, you can trump them on that. It is what it is. I remember when I heard You Don't Know. First time I heard it, I said, yo, man, this is the best beat Jay ever rhymed on. I remember saying, and so I went and was like, you know what? I got to find all of the stuff that Just Blaze has produced before this. And this is before the internet or whatever. I remember my guy had Busta's album. Which one was it? It was Genesis. And Just did some stuff on there. And I listened to that. I was like, man, this shit don't sound nothing like what I heard on the Blueprint. And so when Kanye said that, it made me think like, yo, this may be some validity to it because this nigga stuff sounded nothing like this before the Blueprint. Okay.
Just Blaze, his early work, what did he do? He did some for Big Pun. I remember that. He also did that Harlem World record. I think that was his first big placement. Yeah, it didn't sound anything like what he did on the Blueprint. But as a producer, if the artist tells you, yo, this is the direction we're going in, can you hang with this? Can you come up with some stuff like that? And he goes back in the lab and he comes up with You Don't Know and Girls. We're not downplaying that.
Not downplaying that. All I'm saying is if this other man wasn't there, those songs wouldn't exist. If this other man didn't put forth the work that he put forth,
you can say that about so much shit. Like, that's crazy, bro.
But these are the strangest.
How is that crazy?
Hold on.
You can say that about anything.
This is the strangest argument ever. So now we in the fucking the MCU. and we got the fucking Pym particles, and we going back in time to say if this happened and that wouldn't happen. The fact of the matter is
Bro,
this.
the whole What If series
Says,
on Disney.
Bruh.
The fact of the matter is this. And this is where I'm gonna leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Just Blaze, regardless of what you thought of how he did it, the nefarious route, allegedly, because none of us were here. We're going off of Bink's word, who's been mad for years, and Kanye, who's off his meds. We don't know what's fact from what's fiction. What we do know what happened is Just Blaze produced a lot of records, and in the time frame, the early time frame that you spoke of, the guy that was footing a lot of those beats and a lot of the sound of Rockefeller, going all the way through Dipset, through State Property, was Just Blaze. Maybe in the beginning he didn't do right, and he stole the beats, and if that is in fact accurate, cool. Let's say now if Kanye West was the person who was building the air quote Rockefeller sound from 2001 with the Beanie Siegels and the Camerons and the State Props and even the Bleaks to a lesser degree, and that was Ye's sound, again, because I'm fair, there's nothing to talk about. But the person that Rockefeller leaned on the most post Blueprint was Just Blaze. Regardless of how he got there and he kept repeating it. Bink was no longer in that room. Kanye was back and forth within that room, but Just Blaze was creating a sound for a label. So we're not going to push him to the side because it doesn't fit the argument of a stance that you made, no matter how incorrect it might be. And it's okay. You know, it's okay to be wrong.
Argument to be the catalyst of the Rockefeller sound.
It's not a different argument. What I'm saying is
because there's more people on Rockefeller than just.
This is what you do. You try to parse. What I'm saying is I laid out a whole foundation based on the basis of what you just said about taking people's sound. And I said that the one person that you keep pushing out of the way was the person that they leaned on the most sonically. So you have to counter that in because
they or he, because
everybody, not only he. Them,
because one guy between Just and Kanye, one guy was able to go on and make other classics for other people.
Shout out to them.
I wasn't.
Salute
and we have to ask
that's not the argument though. That's not. Are we talking about
confused.
Other artists, or are we talking about Jay-Z?
We're talking about Jay, but we're talking about how important that individual was to setting the groundwork. That's the whole thing. And the Busta Rhymes record I was talking about, for the people out there that want to hear it, it's called We Got What You Want. So listen to Busta Rhymes, We Got What You Want, and then listen to the production that Just Blaze did on the Blueprint. And you can make your own decisions from there, who, influenced too.
Right. Again, we're not negating, we're not countering that.
In the chat, boy.
Yo, like
y'all
wild.
talking crazy, bro.
Wild.
I mean, a lot of them would see us outside and not say nothing anyway, so it don't matter.
Right,
they can have their fun in the chat.
All right. Real quick, Uncle Frame in the super chat. You guys knew about the Nas fans showing up. Nas fans showing up for this one, but I was expecting Kanye fans, not the Nas fans. That's funny. Spurs 22.
I don't know what to say to that.
let Mace talk. Want to hear his opinion. He reps New Gen.
Voice.
I do. If anything, I wanted to throw in because we mentioned
Kanye made Rockefeller cool. I'm
sorry.
They trolling today. They in super troll mode.
Rockaway 80 mil, like 18 months. You could bullshit.
Y'all gotta be like 20 something. Because let's keep it a whole buck. Rockefeller ain't even want to fuck with Kanye. Because he was weird with the fucking polos.
Pink polos, the collars up and shit.
Collars up. Like,
that wasn't the top niggas on.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm sorry, Mace, go ahead.
Backpack shit.
Now I was gonna say, ultimately, we keep coming back to Kanye sounded like this on the Dynasty album. Just Blaze sounded like this on the Dynasty album. I was waiting for you specifically, Sin, to get into the fact that Supreme Clientele actually was the biggest production influence for the Blueprint and for Kanye's sound in that era. So what I mean? All this talk about how Kanye was the origin of the sound when RZA was kind of cooking that shit up.
Well, I touched on that like a while ago because Mike D was trying to make it sound like Kanye invented the soul sample, chipmunk soul, high-pitched voice sound. Like that's all RZA. That's all a lineage from RZA. Whoever's doing it, they're taking it from RZA. You got Cream, that sampled the Charmels. You got Tears. You got what's that shit with Jizza and Method Man?
Oh, Shadowbox.
Shadow boxing
Yeah.
that sampled and Peebles.
Incredible.
Also, like like this is all lineage from RZA. So
Yo, me and Sin, you my guy, man. Supreme Clientele is one of my favorite albums, period. RZA made my favorite beats ever. I'm with you on all that. I do not discount that, and clearly Kanye was influenced by RZA, but he took it to the masses by bringing it to Jay. Anything Jay takes goes to the masses.
Wu-Tang wasn't the Wu-Tang
Wu-Tang's the masses, but Jay is masses in a different, you know what I'm saying? Like they say, he's a lifestyle rapper. Like Outkast is the masses, right? Big Boy brought the throwback jerseys, and Jay took that, and he's the face of it. You know what I mean? He's different.
I like that you brought Outkast back up because the same thing that you're doing.
Somebody just say Jay copied Nelly with the throwback jerseys.
Well, Mike D, I want to say that the same thing you're doing to Just Blaze in favor of Kanye is the same thing that people do to Big Boy in favor of Andre that you do not like. So I don't appreciate.
I don't think that's the same thing. I think Just
pretty
Blaze
close.
kind of stole Kanye style. I mean, that happened. I mean, not to discount his records.
He had to carry him too, since he's taking his flow and shit. So I guess it's a long list of people not that Kanye's carrying. I guess
Kanye carried Just Blaze too. Okay, not the pump it up Just Blaze, just the soul sample Just Blaze.
Oh, so we're gonna copy. We're gonna parse it up again. All right. Adriel Green with the $10 super chat. Shouts to Adriel, that's the homie. Being objective, Jay found his guy, in Kanye. Nas finally found his go-to guy in Hit Boy. It's all fair. It's just so it just so happens that Jay's guy ended up being a generational talent superstar. I think that's
shout out to Adriel Green.
That's pretty.
That's the AGL.
And that's the thing. Like, it just so happens that Kanye went on to be who he was, and so like I feel like we're what we ended up seeing out of Kanye, we're placing that on 2001 and 2002 and 2003 Kanye, when that he wasn't there yet, right? We in hindsight we could say, well, of course he was the genius mastermind behind all of this because we saw what he ended up becoming, but like. He wasn't there. He wasn't forming these albums. He wasn't executive producing. He wasn't molding the sound. He just, he had a style that they ran with.
I think he indirectly influenced the Blueprint in that way. I think they kind of went back with the original formula with the Blueprint too, and things kind of fell apart. But I feel what you're saying though. It's kind of like Shaq and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't Shaq's fault that they got Kobe, and he didn't know what Kobe was going to turn into ultimately. But when you look back at it in retrospect, it's like, Shaq had Kobe or Kobe had Shaq, but he didn't know that his guy was going to be a once in a lifetime, generational talent rather.
Exactly.
I don't know.
So Jarv's going to give me 09 to present, right?
I'm with that 100%.
You think Jay needs a Kanye produced album next, or who should Jay go to? What's the next Jay album looking like?
As long as it's not No ID. I'm sorry, Sin.
I agree with you.
Don't say sorry to me.
That's your man.
I love No ID outside of 444. I don't know what he decided to do on 444, but I wasn't.
I think he's a decent producer, but I never.
It wasn't my flavor.
As a Common fan back in the day, like. I never once looked at those early Common records like, man, who made this beat? It wasn't until like Water for Chocolate I started doing that. You know what I mean?
Yo, Sin.
One day it'll all make sense. I think that's when I started paying attention.
Ab Studio says you could say Jay-Z and Just Blaze make hits. The fact is Kanye gave Rockefeller first number one. It's hard to argue, just Kanye overall. What does he mean by first number one? Like,
I don't know.
Slow Jams is Rockefeller's first number one record.
You talking about like top 100?
Billboard type shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking stats. All right, now the stats matter. All right. Okay.
All right, but that was Kanye's record. That wasn't Jay-Z's record.
I don't know how I keep getting accused of being emotional when I've behaved this whole episode. I've been good, Jarv. I don't understand.
You guys have been great, man. Y'all have been very hospitable.
That's how they come
Ain't
out.
nobody gang up on me or not.
Nah, like, I don't
Love here,
understand what's
man.
going on.
It's love here, Mike.
Of course, man. Same here.
We're good. We're good dudes. The chat might play it a different way, but we're
the
good
chat hates
dudes.
us because we talk too much about Jay-Z in a positive light. If we came on here and we bashed Jay for 2 hours every other week or every week, bro, they love us. They love that we give Jay his flowers. I know the vibes already, bro. And some of them will come and they'll see us eventually and be like, yo, I just be fucking with you in the chat, bro. I love Jay-Z too, but I like Nas more. I know the type. I know the type.
The interesting
See
dynamic.
a few of them in the chat now.
Type. I mean, it's cool. But last piece. So I'm giving you 09 to 2017. You standing on 2001? You 01 to 08. You saying that whole thing is yay?
I'm gonna give him 01, but let me ask you this. Why do you think? No. And this is
Wait, no. I'm sorry,
brother.
Let me step
This is
in.
a question for you guys and the
audience.
audience.
I'm gonna head out.
You need a t-shirt. You need a t-shirt. Let me ask you this.
Let me ask
You
you.
need that on the shirt, bro.
Why do y'all think they threw Kanye's name on 03 Bonnie and Clyde when that's nothing but a Tupac remake? Like, was Kanye's name put on there because he was their flagship producer?
Marketing, man.
He's hot, Mike.
Marketing.
He was hot,
brother.
I just want y'all to say that. I want y'all to say that.
When was Kanye not hot though? You know what I'm saying? Since he's been doing this thing, he's been hot.
I mean, they didn't put Just Blaze's name on it. I'm just saying.
Here we go.
But the first single off of the Blueprint, the street record, was Hovey Baby, produced by Just Blaze.
Definitely.
Before we tried to get the white people involved with the Beyonce record, we put out the Just Blaze record first. And that's how it's been. That's all I'm saying. That's why I can't.
We need a list of how many people have carried Jay-Z, bro. Beyonce's carried Jay-Z.
Yep.
Kanye's carried Jay-Z.
Neptunes.
03 Bonnie and Clyde was originally a Tupac record, so Tupac carried Jay-Z. Like, we're just gonna keep like.
Wait, who produced the joint? I don't remember who it was. Beyonce first single.
That was
the Harrison dude who used to produce for Ava Marie.
Yeah, that was Rich Harrison.
Yeah.
She stole A. Marie's sound.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that what was it called? That Maryland sound. What was that called again?
That Go-Go.
Go-Go.
Yep. Yeah. All right, so this is what I'm gonna say. 01, I'm gonna give Jay. 02, 03, he wasn't carried.
Oh, Young Chris.
04, 05, he was retired.
Shout out to Hudson.
04, 05, he was retired. 06, he needed Ye's help. So
who was the biggest feature in 04 and 05? Not Jay-Z. You got a Jay-Z verse. Was it not him?
06?
Come on, Mike.
Wait.
Mike, you do a whole podcast following the culture.
No, what I'm saying is,
so you know that who was the biggest get in 04 and 05? Was it not Jay?
No, the biggest get in 04, 05 was either Ye or 50 Cent.
A verse?
Yeah.
In 05? No way, bro.
Maybe 50. No, you're right.
50.
04 was 50. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm 05, 06? Hell no.
Those are the biggest two artists on the planet.
03, 04, 50. You can say late 02 through 04 is 50.
Okay.
My apologies.
05 was Ye's year, man.
Nah, I'm giving that to Jay.
Over Kanye?
Really?
As far as a feature
J verse?
Not a biggest actor. I'm talking about you get that verse, that's a big deal. Any Jay verse was a big deal.
It is, just like it is today. But I think 05 was kind of like it is today, where it's like, yeah, if Jay puts out a verse, it stops traffic, but he wasn't the hottest in the game.
So stopping traffic doesn't matter.
I think in terms of rapping, Ye, it was 07 graduation year. From there on. 05, he was still in his producer bag, man. Like, he was producing for Alicia Keys, Janet Jackson. He had a couple features here and there, but like,
what's his feature game looking like in 05? I think y'all are discounting Kanye's feature appearances in 05.
In
features in
05?
Yeah.
He was on a Janet Jackson record, but it wasn't that big. He was on Selfish.
Yes, he
I'll
was.
give him that. Slum Village.
Yeah.
Obviously he was all on, comments.
He blacked on that.
Wouldn't Get Far.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Wouldn't Get Far.
That was a big one.
Nah, Still Dreaming.
Out
of these, Wouldn't Get Far would probably be
Dre, we read mad super chats. What you mean, what's up in my super chat? We've been reading, like, there's a lot of super chats that got read, bro. We didn't see Dre's name on any one of those. So
And
Yeah.
Dre, we
Yeah,
also put some in the chat about his email, your super chat if we missed it, because the chat was moving quick. So if you said something and we missed it, just email it to us, bro.
All right. I got guest appearances right here if y'all interested.
Proceed.
Well, these are just singles. So this is 05. Yay guest appearances.
05, yeah.
Yep. They Say, Common.
Dope.
album
got-
cut.
Yep. Two Sides. You got, Crack Music, The Game, or whatever. That's, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
05 that was his song.
Yeah. Hold up. I think,
Come on, bro.
This ain't right.
You working hard, Mike?
Nah, this ain't right. Nah, this ain't, yeah. But anyway.
Real quick,
05
Jay-
was a big year for Ye, man.
J Dub with a super chat. He says, "Great show. As with most things, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Already looking forward to the next rap roundtable according to Hip Hop Collab." I mean,
Thank you, brother.
J Dub, salute. Thank you for being logical and rational. I already split the difference. Mike D tap dancing over here. It's okay. You know what I mean?
No, okay, so we already got 09 on. I think that 01 J is J, but I think that Kanye's influence on the Blueprint is just too strong. I think at 06, man, you don't think he needed him on Kingdom Come? Like, because that's part of my argument too.
Well, I'll answer that question.
You got stuff like Kingdom Come.
I'll answer that question with my perspective, because again, we're not in the studio. You're asking fans to speak on music, right?
Right.
I don't think Jay-Z was going to be good on Kingdom Come regardless of who was on the boards, because it wasn't like the beats were trash. Like Jay-Z's performance was weak on Kingdom Come. We keep talking about the production. Jay, who was that guy? Did you recognize him?
I'm going to keep it real. Just Blaze Kingdom Come song, he went crazy on that. That's actually one of my favorite Mike performances, especially in the 2000s. Incredible record. A lot of people don't really fuck with that record like that, but yeah.
Blacked on the beat.
Well, they don't mess with it because Jay-Z's performance wasn't good. It's like I could be a great coach and a great game plan, but if you don't follow the X's and O's, we're gonna lose. Jay ain't perform well on Kingdom Come. I always say that guy, the octave he rapped in, the pockets he was trying to hit. I don't recognize that guy. That's not the dude who retired in 03. That's not even the guy who was doing features a few months ago. I don't know what he was trying to do.
That's why American Gangster is so important, though.
Because he found himself again. I don't know what he did. Or again, like
rapping
I said
his ass off
in the show, he was, to me, post-retirement Jay, with the exception of one standout album, has been trying to really challenge himself as a rapper. Maybe not the comments, shit as far as the quality shit, but as far as just rapping, because I don't have to. I'm Jay-Z. I don't have to rap about anything, and I'm gonna get 1 million units sold. You know what I mean? And if one time he really 09 Blueprint 3, he tried to reach for it. He signed that humongous at the time. I don't know if it was the biggest. I have to Google it to confirm, but that Live Nation deal was big money involved in that.
Of course.
You can't attempt to make no contemporary rap shit when you got that much money attached in it. You got to make stadium music. And again, around that, after the Live Nation deal and the Blueprint 3s and the Magna Cartas in that little window, the man was going over to Europe, doing all European tours, and you have to make music that transcends to overseas. So
why did Live Nation even offer him that deal?
Because a great fucking deal.
Because he had hits. Yeah, he had the ability to make hits.
And once he got that, and once 2009. I've been saying
I'll give you that
episode. 01 through 08.
We'll meet in the middle there.
There you go. So you give me 01 to 08. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's all I wanted. We split the difference.
We'll split the difference. I'm here for that. This was fun though. This was constructive. You know what I'm saying?
This is rap arguments. I don't know why people feel like rap discussions are supposed to be civil. I've never had a civil rap discussion in my life.
What's the fun in that?
Right. They would say that's boring. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, bro. But like I don't understand. When we go to the barbershop, we go to the park, we go to the bar, we start talking about, even with strangers, you start talking about rap, we're gonna argue. We're gonna debate.
It gets energetic, man.
So let them talk and all this and that. Like, bro, Snowflake era now, bro. We gonna argue. I love it. Mike D, you did better than I thought you would. Yeah, I mean, he was real scrappy. Because usually be Coop. Coop be the one with the sauce, but you can't.
Mike D, I was impressed, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Fellas, Mike D, we're gonna let you go. We got a couple of more topics.
I appreciate y'all having me on.
And now it is officially your turn for us to join your platform. So whenever y'all got the topic that y'all want us to come on, we are on deck.
For sure. We appreciate the love, man. And if you're not subscribed to According to Hip Hop on YouTube, you know, hit that subscribe.
Yes,
if I could plug real quick, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Why wouldn't you? Listen, at the end of the day, it's business, man. Come on, we're trying to build, you know?
I appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, come on the show next time. We're gonna come with a great topic. And I'm gonna let I'm gonna set that one out. And
you be laying traps. You lay traps. So I got
hold on.
Man.
Real quick before Mike D goes. Come on, Miss LB, you gotta cut that out, bro. Cut that out.
Miss LB,
she been going crazy the whole time.
Miss LB on go time.
Mike D for handling
every
the
time.
jumping.
Miss LB, at this point, Miss LB is the ops. That's how I'm looking at her. The ops now. Don't fuck with us.
So what's going on? I ain't in the chat.
She said we jumped you. That didn't happen.
Oh, that ain't happen. No, I'm good. And a scar on my face. I'm looking like Usher right now.
Oh man.
All right, y'all. I appreciate it.
Mike D.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yeah.
Be good, brother.
Salute. Yep.
Right. Ooh, good shit, fellas. Good shit. So I guess we're gonna give the ball to Mace off the rip. You know what I mean? You've been here for a cool 2 hours, damn near, and you ain't really hear too much from me. Real quick, Jack, we're gonna be quick about this because we've been on there for a good minute. Jack Harlow and MGK, new rap beef. What?
Listen, man.
If
there's anybody that loves white on white crime, it's me, bro. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm all here for it, bro. Like, first off, MGK coming off of, what some people say, smoking the GOAT white rapper, you know what I mean? So he feeling himself. He got his nail polish on. He got his rock boots on. You feel what I'm saying? I'm all here for it. And I personally think that MGK kind of smoked him. Like, he more battle ready. I don't know if the dad joke bars can really come for MGK, but listen, I'm here for it. If you're gonna say I'm better than every white rapper, then you know what I mean? The melanin is gonna come out. You know what I mean? They gonna see what's good. MGK clearly here for all the fuckery. I'm with it, bro.
Nah, this right here is just
chat is crazy.
2023 been the weirdest year in a long time. Now we got MGK and Quando Harlow. What's going on here, bro? What does this year come to?
I'm here for it, man.
Me too.
Yo, get Jack Harlow out of here, man. I try, you know what I mean? I try not to, come off too slanderous because I get painted as, a reverse racist, if you will, if that's a thing, that I hate white rappers. So, you know what I mean? Like when Jack Harlow's album came out, Jackman, you know what I mean? I tried to give it a couple props here and there for the positives that they had, but all in all, Jack Harlow, I know you're supposed to feel yourself, but you're feeling yourself a little too much, man. Like, come on. Yeah, I mean, I know you said behind Eminem, but like, you got Everlast, you got, Mac Miller, like you got Mac Miller. Mac Miller is beloved out there, man.
Even the big block lava, bro.
Bro, if you
Action
make a statement
Bronson.
like ain't nobody fucking with me besides Eminem as a white rapper, yo, that Mike Miller hive is gonna come for you, bro. So, might want to watch out, man. But
they kind of crazy.
Listen,
I ain't gonna lie.
MGK, he's taking a lot of time off of rap. The last time I remember any rap from MGK was when he went on M, and we kind of talked about it here. We might get some tomatoes thrown at us, but I think MGK kind of gave M the business that time. You know what I mean? And now he's coming for Jack Harlow. I think he slid. I think he did his thing on that, and Jack Harlow don't want no parts of that, man. Like lyrically, Jack Harlow's not that potent. And
he's not that guy.
He's not him. He's not him, bro.
Close.
He's not him.
You know what I mean? Like MGK is gonna be, have that emoji with the nail polish. Like he's gonna be doing that and still roasting you, bro. Like,
wow.
Hey, Deanie, what you think?
Yo, white man can't jump, white guy got smoked, man. You can put it however you want to put it. You got smoked. Shout out to I usually shit on MGK because the switch ups to me just be too much. Him, Post Malone, these niggas can't pick a lane. But I mean, I gotta give credit where it's due. And maybe he do like fuck it, you know what I'm saying? It is a little spot for the white rapper because M is low key. And Quando dropping a lot of mid, so why not? The door's open. Maybe MGK feel like to slide in and get my top white rap status. That might be something in the world of the white folks. I ain't gonna hold you. Like for us, this shit don't mean nothing. But in a room full of white niggas rapping, I'm sure that shit means something, bro.
Hey, yo, that might be the bar of the show right there. It might mean something to the white rap fans. Hey, so the headline is Jack Harlow gets dissed by Rockstar. No, is that's what we leading with?
Can't pick a lane.
Can't pick a lane. I'm a little stuck here because once again MGK proved that he can rap, and he said to give Drake his flow back, and he made some points. But I'm gonna just be sincere to rap snob. The timing of this is very suspect, coming off of Quando's album that apparently I didn't pull up the charts, but I haven't seen the head. I always see the headlines. I might certain headlines you don't gotta look for, they hit you in the face. But it seemed like nobody gave a fuck about Quando's album. And then about a week after it dropped, we have an MGK disc. I'm saying this is a delayed, everything's a rollout. We need to keep him in the click cycle. We need to keep him trending. And what better way than to get with the guy who was married to or engaged to Shorty from Transformers, who's now a rock star, but still has Diddy affiliations via Bad Boy, the MGK who can actually rap. And it's almost like when you're a boxer and you cherry pick your fights. Like for the Quando must believe that everyone's gonna side with him if he was to rap back against MGK. So this is a cherry picked fight to keep him in the trance. I think this is complete hogwash. It's a sham mockery. I don't believe this is anything valid. Like, what reason would he have to rap in his backyard with nail polish on? Somebody made the call to do Quando a favor, and I'm standing on it.
Possible.
We got a super chat here from LP. LP been in the chat going crazy. Shout out LP. I fuck with you. Yo, I was watching the verses between Dipset and the Locks with the chat on, and I saw Pusha going in on Dipset and laughing at them. That's why Jim is mad.
That's good intel. That's good intel, LP.
Yo, LP, if you follow us on Instagram, if you could find that again, screenshot that for us, please. We need to use that as content.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Facts. That's
he
a good
rock
one.
Scola. We ran long with Mike. So real quick, we're gonna do the call-ins next live. We couldn't do that today. We didn't think we was gonna spend 2 hours with Mike D.
Yeah.
But Mike D, he put up a hell of a fight. He came through ready to shoulder roll, and we had to throw a lot of jabs. The next thing that went crazy on the internet, I know everybody saw it. Freddie Gibbs.
Oh, the big rabbit.
Freddie Gibbs. Chat, if y'all know why he's called Freddie Gibbs, please let us know in the chat. Maybe, why is this man called Freddie Gibbs?
Yo,
what's going on?
Nigga was giving himself a cavity search. That's what the word was, man. Now, ultimately,
what?
This ultimately what they trying to say is if y'all know he has the porn star now BM that the one who got jumped in Buffalo with him at the Rib Shack by Benny's Goons. It's been a little back and forth, shade room type shit. You know what I mean? Well, she popped up on the timeline the other day, all type of screenshots and stories and voice notes from other baby mamas. Real, carrying on the legacy of Jerry Springer. R.I.P. to the homie. Shout out to Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, what she tried to say, because Freddie blocked her in the midst of her ranting on Twitter, and her following tweet was a screenshot of the blocking, and her saying, Freddie was spreading them on camera, and she got photos of them. And by spread them, I don't feel like I need to tell y'all, spread them, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What?
You like he was boofing cell phones in the crib or something, bro.
Like, nah.
This is what she said.
Oh, nah.
The internet went crazy.
Wait.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
need some clarity.
I
need some clarity. This was after the initial, because I read the initial thread, and again, I want to make it clear. I usually stay away from these Jerry Springer type topics, but this shit was too good to not read, bro. So I went and showed these threads on Twitter, but I was confused because I was like, I didn't read nothing about Freddie Gibbs getting nothing of that nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this was
yeah.
afterwards. There was
That was like in a
more to that?
response. You know how you can have multiple combos. So the thread was one thing, but then
Right.
you know, in the midst of the thread, I guess Freddie had blocked her, and somebody sent her a screenshot of the blocking, and she basically said, you know, it's kind of crazy that you blocking me when I got a picture of you spreading your cheeks in my phone. That's what she said,
That's
bro.
what I missed.
That's what she said, bro.
Wow.
So now it's Freddie Gibbs, you know, immediately.
Bro,
Freddie Gibbs.
listen.
Oh,
I
yeah,
seen
man.
somebody say
It's
on
disgusting.
Twitter.
Facts,
The
Somatic.
streets, man.
We sorry, bro.
I seen somebody say on Twitter, this is not me, somebody on Twitter said this, but they said, if you take a big enough L, you don't got no more classic albums. So, and then he quoted himself saying, yo, Freddie, Freddie don't got no more classics.
He didn't even rap
big of an L,
anymore.
bro.
He can't talk shit to nobody.
Considering the story that Marlon Wayans just told about Pac, I'm gonna just shut
Yeah.
the fuck up on
Yeah.
that one, man. If we taking away classics for such
Lay,
sake, you know what I mean?
low.
We
Lay
shut
low
the
on this
fuck
one.
up, man.
Nah, but
You got it, Freddie.
nah, boy. I'm fucked up.
Sis, was this before you let him put a baby in you though? Because if you got a baby father that's got cheek spread pics, I can't bowl well, bro. It can't.
Hey,
It can't. She got to hold that at least a little bit.
Yeah, Benny gonna have a field day with this one.
Wicked.
Freddie better not say a word, man.
Miss
Like I
LB
said,
says
Freddie
his
Gibbs ain't got no
alleged-
class. That last Freddie
Pac
album was
about to go
peak.
wild.
Yo, Miss LB says in the super chat, his alleged BM porn star said she had a pic of Gibbs busting it open. You're wild for that, Miss LB. Busting it open. How he go from rappers scaring the hoes to niggas
Being a hose.
I'm not even gonna finish the
Marcos.
bar.
What?
I'm not even gonna finish the bar. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
But what fucked me up when I read the thread was she had a picture of Freddie getting jumped by BSF. And in the tweet, she says, "Here's me looking thick while we're getting jumped by BSF." I'm like, what? Who describes a violent? You got your chain snatched, and you said you look thick.
It's different.
Supposedly, Benny hit her up and said that he's gonna give it back.
Wow.
Supposedly, that's what I read.
I mean, I
night-
got inside intel that says that in the moment that it happened, that niggas was laughing they ass off in real time as the thread was going live, bro. It's nasty. I can't believe Freddie gotta take the rest of the year off. Don't rap until 2024. Late, like third quarter 2024.
Take a break.
Yeah.
Don't even don't.
You did great with SSS, man.
Do not feel the pressure to address this in the least. We don't want to hear it. We just don't. Like, if you address it, that just makes it even more true. And we would rather just forget this whole thing ever happened.
Yeah, what you gotta
And
do?
the saga continues, man, because she was on live. She was on live chat with academics last night, exposing it even more.
Her tour
she
gonna
went
be
to
crazy.
act.
Her tour
And-
finna be
and-
crazy.
And act offered I think like 10 or 20 racks to name to give the baby the middle name after his name. So Freddie Gibbs might have a
10
baby
racks.
named after academics.
Wow. You know that nigga hate that nigga, so them niggas gotta forever
Yeah, bro,
be
it's
so.
bad out here, man. It's
Damn.
real
She went
salacious and
to
bad out
the
here, man.
enemy with it though.
She went to the ops with it,
All right,
man.
Damn.
Real question. Before we move on, I got one more topic before we get out of here. Because the Knicks game is on. I know niggas want to go watch the game.
Facts.
Real quick, is this worse than what Amber said about Ye? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is. Niggas don't need no confirmation on this. Niggas don't want no confirmation.
Yes.
It's not
That's
as
just-
impactful because
it's just
Freddie's not
nasty.
gay,
Right.
but what was actually
Who
said,
held the
actual
camera?
allegations.
Did you put a timer
It's
on the
worse.
camera? Like, what
She
the
did, Moan. That's
At the
she set-
tripod?
It's
She
worse,
set that
bro.
nigga up and knew that I was gonna hold that golden nugget for the rest of this nigga life, bro. If he ever violate me, I'm cooking this nigga. She had that in the tuck.
Miss LB says Freddie Gibbs joint Trick Daddy, eat a booty, get yo.
Nah, that's it. Come on, LB.
All right, Miss LB.
You're on timeout, Miss LB. Get out of here.
LB.
Nah, she gave the super chat.
First, she said busted it open. Now we on
bro.
Oh, it
booty
was a
gang.
super chat. You're right.
LB.
LB, you
You
gonna
solid,
pull
you
up with
better.
us one day? LB?
You got- Yeah, she
Not
got to pull
today,
up for
because
the
like we
next
said, we
one.
can't today. LB, you gotta pull up one day, man.
You gotta pull up.
For the next one,
We
pull up,
gotta,
LB.
we gotta talk this out.
Thanks.
Wow. Last thing, we put out the reaction to the Conway album, Won't He Do It? Shout out to the people who pulled up, because I know a lot of y'all who really fuck with us. Y'all see we've been trying to move away from being too Nas-centric. Not because according to hip hop fans think that we hate Nas, but because we just want to be a more balanced platform. Because there's a lot of rap happening and we haven't been touching on it because we spent the first quarter of the year covering KD3, the MSG shows, the 21 beef, the Hit Boy rolled out with a project. Then I think there was a Nas track that dropped somewhere in between there. We did a lot of Nas content, and we're trying to move away from that. So for everyone who's pulled up and has, subscribed and fucked with us, we appreciate that. But we did notice that in the comments, a lot of y'all don't mess with this Conway album. Sincere, are you surprised, taken aback by the negative reaction to this album?
I'm not from the people that are giving said negative reaction. Again, I'll say it one more time. Like there's a certain segment of listeners that only want one sound, and for artists to stay in that one lane, in that one box, in that one corner of the room, and it's unfair. It's unfair to the artists. It's unfair to newer fans that they might garner from experimenting with their sound or going outside of that lane. It's unfair to how big of an artist the artist could become if they decide to go into different lanes and realize, holy shit, I didn't think I could make a song like this, but lo and behold, I was able to make a song like this, and it's fire, and other people are fucking with it. Like, yeah, it's unfair. It's just unfair all around. Y'all got to be fair to the artists and let them experiment. Now, if you don't, here's the thing: if you don't fuck with it, then that's your prerogative. But again, listening to some songs like The Chosen and like Brooklyn Chop House and Monogram, I'm listening to them and it's taking me back to a certain era of rap where it wasn't just Alchemist type beats or Derringer type beats or just RZA type beats. Like, it was well-rounded sonically. And I always loved projects like that. As long as the bars were there and the beats were dope, like, I wasn't thinking, if the Biggie didn't do, enough tracks with Primo, or, Jay-Z didn't do enough songs with Ski Beats. You know what I mean? I just think that whoever is having these types of opinions, again, they're the ones that wanted Nas to just do, 20 different Illmatics and only make songs with Primo and Large Professor and Pete Rock and never expand beyond that. And again, I think it's unfair to the artists, man, and it's unfair to where their growth and where they can go.
What do you think, Deanie?
I think we all like what we like, but I think Conway showed up for this, man. I think there was a nice blend between the bars. There was a nice blend between the sounds. Shout out to Derringer. He dusted off his shit and came right. Pause. Like, there's not many misses on this. So I'm really shocked. I mean, to Sin's point, but I'm shocked that even those lifelong fans didn't fuck with this. You know what I'm saying? This felt like an elevation of Conway to me. This felt like he took that next step into kind of that direction we want to see him, Benny, and those rappers of that ilk go, where they can still rap their ass off, but still make sonic music, like music that you want to listen to. You get what I'm saying? Like, this didn't feel like a niche album to me, bro. We talked about it. This shit hit on all cylinders for me as far as the creativity, as far as what he attempted to do. And I say, if niggas gonna feel like that, fuck niggas, bro. Like, grow with the new audiences. You know what I'm saying? You got to step away from shit sometimes and grow with the shit he's doing. I love this album, bro. So I don't know what the fuck them niggas is talking about.
Yo, this new Deanie who's just been kind of angry and just saying what he feel like. Some days I be like, I don't know. He makes me nervous some days, and be like, I don't know if he should be on the show because he gonna get I'm here. But then the healing me is like, where this guy been the whole time? Show.
Niggas
If
is
I was
aggravating
used,
me, Jarv.
if I was used to it, I'd probably be more prepared for it. I love it, by the way. Like this guy, more of this, please.
Oh,
This guy,
man.
we want even when they got mad about the Nas shit you said earlier. I want that guy every episode. But speak your truth, B.
A little bit of facts, you know.
Just say a couple of words. You know what I'm talking about.
Copy. You know the
But talk
vibes.
your shit, Deanie.
Yes, sir.
Shit. Mace, what's your thoughts on the pushback?
Conway is in, it's a weird place to be as a entertainer or rapper or whatever you want to call it, a content creator, whatever you do. You know what I mean? Where it's like you have the most rabid, loyal fan base, but because of that, they want you to change the least. You feel what I'm saying? Nas is in there. You know what I mean? The whole Griselda camp, you know what I mean? Like motherfuckers like Rock Marciano. He can't put out an album that sound like Future tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? Niggas would lose their mind. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, right? Like, what the fuck? But so it's like, it's a real difficult position to be in because he knows that whatever he drop, he know he gonna get people to pop out on the tour. He know he gonna get people to show love to it. But it's like, he can't ever veer in a different lane. And if you pay attention to Conway, his past, the type of rap he was making way before this Griselda shit, him and Benny, motherfuckers was rapping over trap beats, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanted to make it. You know what I mean? So it's like he's not. I don't think he's what they think he is. He's not the cow 24/7. You feel what I'm saying? He want to be in Texas rocking with Sauce Walker and them niggas. He want to be on fashion Paris shows getting fly with niggas. So I think his tastes are actually farther away from what the public wants from him. And that leaves him in a very difficult position. So it's like, I think he should still pursue what he's pursuing, but he got to be ready. This is going to be the pushback for the rest of his career if he strays away from this sound at all.
You know what's funny? You took a nice route of saying that Conway wants to be a fly lifestyle rapper. He don't want to be a lyrical wordsmith over drumless beats. He want to be lit.
Yeah,
he
bro.
He kind of want to be in that fabulously, the lit nigga with bars. And I think he took a step in that direction with this album. Free made a point, and it was to a point that I made yesterday. We both agree as far as the sequencing of the album. I think if certain songs are placed in certain different places and it rides a little bit better, people will receive it better. I think that, but song for song, to me, this is a great album. Is it like going to be? We got to see what, based on what's been handed to us this year. It's been a lot of school lunch. It ain't been no great meals. We've been getting free. So with that said, based on this is the best of the free for me. It's a little bit better than free. It's a good meal, but it's not. It's not the highfalutin shit we got a year ago. We was getting 5 albums every month,
everywhere, man.
So based on all the free we got, with the exception, like I said, of UFO Fever and Rome, where I felt like they raised the bar a little bit in their own personal catalog, Conway did a good job. Better sequencing, and we'll do better. We got one last super chat here from Andre Chaser. He says, "Damn, my man's went from Freddie Gibbs to Freddie Wow, Freddie Gibbs." Shit.
Oh shit.
What?
So Matic said the Nas and Jay-Z content pays the bills. We understand, and we appreciate you for understanding. We trying
you my guy.
Thank you, sir.
We trying to bring more people to this chat.
It's never going away.
Right.
It's a foundation.
We trying to expand.
It's like Conway. We're trying to be like Conway. You know what I mean? Like,
turn into the first thing you might hear about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. You just might. You know what I'm saying?
But I want to talk about, homie in Minnesota for a second. You know what I mean? Who I feel like he needs to be freed because he's playing with Rudy Gobert and Carl Anthony Towns. We need to free him. He's the next great NBA wing, and he's stuck in Minnesota. Free Ant. But that's what
sometimes we feel like talking about Ant Edwards. That's what, you know what I mean?
That's what we do here.
Yo, Mayhem Loren. Anybody listen to that guy? Like, should I personally tap in?
I've heard good things.
No, okay. I shared a Man Loren project with you a while ago with Daraja on the boards mostly.
I probably, why I didn't listen to that.
Yeah, no. You were not happy with it. You don't remember?
Listen, I don't remember bad things. Did I pan it? Did I pan it on the pod, or did I pan it personally?
No. You told me why did I have you listen to?
Yes, and I got really mad at that album.
Yeah.
I literally asked you, why'd you make me listen to that shit? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You know, I didn't like it. All right, Dini, take this home, bro. Let's get out of here. I want to watch the next game too.
Yeah, hopefully we get a dub tonight. Big New York. What, damn, Jarv. Yo, I know who y'all rocking with, man. We appreciate y'all for fucking with us. Having people stick around for 2.5 hours, goddamn, that's the movement right there. Fuck with y'all all day, every day. Shout out to Jarv, the point guard. Shout out to Macito, the voice. Shout out to Sincere, the rap snob. I'm Dini, the balance. With our powers combined, we the rap round table, and we fucking out it.